welcome back to Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is January 14th, 2024. It's a snowy and cold day here up in Quebec in Canada, but hopefully you're keeping warm and doing well. Ooh, the lighting in here is real bright. What was that sound? I think I heard a sound I made up. How's everyone doing? It is a Tuesday. Look at that clamp on the table back there. How's it going, Eric? We've had some changes around this place. We haven't been putting out a lot of video content, again, for better or for worse, but we've been working towards something that's been happening slowly. And there's some progress in the background you can see. See, there's a table and there's like this clamp system on it. And you can kind of tell at the top here, right there. You see that? That's a nice little camera. We just picked up a new camera yesterday, which is quite nice. Mind you, the camera that I'm recording on right now is probably about 10 years plus old. Which is, it's okay. It does its thing. But if you want to film board game stuff and card game stuff in person, you need something a bit more powerful. So, of course, huge thank you to my partner, Maddie, who this is part of an anniversary gift, helped me get this together and pick this up yesterday. So it's pretty exciting. Now, I'm still behind on a lot of stuff to make this into more of a paper studio, whether it's live or film stuff. It's probably going to be a mix of both. But I even rewatched a while ago. I think it's been years since last time we played in paper Netrunner here in person in the studio, where we had Pat come in and we played. I think like one of the first streams where we did that, it was like Ashes, the first cycle of Ashes before it came out. We might have proxied it and played in person. So I'm really, really excited about that. Anyways, this stuff still needs a lot of work. Shout out to Eric, who's been very helpful, helping me set up some lights and stuff like that, talking through it. But we have some webcams to come in to get two people. The camera up there works. My capture card, I have to wire it in. I have to figure out what to do for audio. Probably the first couple streams will just be like a boom microphone. Eventually I'll pick up lapel mics. Lighting it to look nice is going to be a nightmare. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. It's a lot of work, that's for sure. Bumble J, tabletop Arkham on the way. Yeah, probably. Arkham takes up a lot of space. There's a chance that table isn't big enough if you play two players, but I'll figure it out. What I also did this week is that a long time ago, YouTube Arkham Métropole Grid, I did a live stream. It was a video stream with Jeff, where I did this as like an April Fool's 2 years ago, I think. And I basically did a deck dive in the form of deck dives that I did back at that time. But then we also played Arkham, and we played through first two scenarios of what's it called? The Forgotten Age, Return to Forgotten Age specifically. And I think these actually turned out really nice. I built a bunch of different like camera systems for it. So there's actually like picture in picture, and they animate between the two so you can watch people and see people. And it's all on TTS though. So if you want to see in-person play, it's not the thing. I booted up the system yesterday and it still works. And I made some improvements. And now also, because last year I got a nicer computer, it'll be easier to set this up, because this actually needs two PCs connected together, because one PC is running Tabletop Simulator to play the cards, one PC is Tabletop Simulator just to have an extra camera going on. It's like super over complicated, but this works. I was really excited about this, so I might revisit this in the near future. We'll see. Hey, Clockwork Spider, welcome to the channel. Catching you live for the first time. Wanted to say I love your deck building series. Hope you're still great today. Greetings from Germany. Thank you. I'm doing well. Greetings. Good. I think it's afternoon right now. Yeah, almost the evening in Germany. Thanks for dropping by and for the kind words. We've been well. We've been busy, but we've been well, that's for sure. And it's not going to stop anytime soon, mind you. This weekend is a huge Netrunner event as well. Let me just catch up on chat really quickly, and then we'll kind of go from there. Look, Metro Stream now. I have a way to kill an hour. Hey, Stab Tabby. Happy to be the hour to kill Tuesday Company. Eric, how's it going? Yo, hey, not yet. Yo. Just send UK regional pricing to the printers. Do you think this year is the year of DreamNet? Do you think it's coming back? Also, really excited to hear that. I think UK regionals, by that, you also mean like proper UK regionals, right? Not districts, but like regionals still? Or let me know how that is. Jai, how's it going? Hey, Métropole. Hey, chat. That track slaps. That track I was not aware existed until I started playing. It started out a bit too Imagine Dragons for me, and then it got more interesting, and I was actually pretty happy with it after all. How you doing, Jai? Are you playing this weekend, or are you casting? I know you wanted to do some casting, potentially. Hey, morning, Mango Feet. It's afternoon just about. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Look at the stream. Joining the stream on the bus to meet up. Meteor, enjoy your meetup. Was my voice okay? My voice is totally fine. Oh, Jai's asking about the cat tower. The cat tower just moved to another room. Unfortunately, there just wasn't enough space. We're definitely going to have to move more furniture around because this room is not that big. It looks okay on the camera, but like it's really not that far. Like the chair is here. So that's like one arm's length till you hit the table, and then you hit the wall. It's like a tiny room, unfortunately. So the cat tower is in a living room, which is definitely appreciated. That's where my partner has her office. So Nanako will have company. paper Netrunner content. Rahid, how's it going? How was the ONR Cube? Oh, let me get back to that, Jai, once I catch up on the chat, because we did our ONR Cube this weekend. A lot of learnings. I had a great time. We had 8 people show up, myself included, and I was incredibly happy with parts of it for sure. Have we had the Arkham tangent already? The spoilers vary from riot to yuck, but I'm super excited. VT, I really want to do an Arkham tangent because, like, honestly, this week has been a lot. It's spoiler season for Flesh and Blood. It's continuing to be spoiler season from Arkham. I think there's spoilers for Marvel Champions as well. So if you care about card games, there's a lot of spoilers to talk about. I think the Arkham Horror spoilers have been both fascinating and, as exactly as you said, from riot to yuck. It feels like it's extremes. Either the card is fantastic or unplayable. I think I've seen very few cards that are in the middle, but I've seen cards that are just like unplayably bad and I don't understand why they exist. And I love talking about those as much as that sounds negative. So who knows? Daojan, how's it going? You building another recording space in that room? How are you ever going to be able to walk around? Joe, honestly, don't know. It is something that I've been a bit anxious about. Like, as soon as I move this table in here, which this used to be in our like living room, this is like our dining table. I was like, there's not enough space in here. And I was getting a bit cramped and weird. Like, it felt bad. So I need to make sure that it makes sense. I'm probably going to get rid of some other stuff in this room to make sense, but it's hard. This apartment's not very big. It's a Montreal apartment, so they're as big as they usually are. It's okay. I played that deck you showcased last month. Fun stuff. I think that's one of the best decks. Wait, which deck are we talking about, Bumbles, exactly? What do I play for CBI help? Oh, Jai, you got so many options. Jai, if you just play your stuff, you'll be fine. Like, I think your stuff is okay. I think Shaper might be, you have to change a bit, but like, I think your corporation is good to go. Hey, Talk, happy Tuesday. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing okay, down in California, huh? I hear ASIC group is pretty good. Hoshiko PD. Hey, all, let's run those nets. Sam, how's it going? How you doing? This is the second week in a row. It's a Hoshiko decklist of the week. I've been struggling with Nottingham's Hoshiko from last week. I feel like it just doesn't play the way that I want Hoshiko to play, which is to rip through your deck. This has the sort of like Onicom engine, which is really fun. These sort of like crew Hoshikos, classically when I've played them, I played Earthrise Hotel and they draw a lot more. But I've been finding the more I play Hoshiko, the more it feels slow, unless you're playing like the price. And this one also isn't, but I'm excited to see this one. Only here for 20 or so. How did the ONR go? Did I miss that bit? David, how's it going? No, you haven't. Let me just catch up on chat and then I'll do the ONR thing to do a recap because it was fascinating. It was really, really cool. Jai says, I haven't decided whether I'm casting or playing yet. Juniper is already accosting me and I have to give her an answer. Yeah, I think Juniper, so I'm going to be streaming the North American side of Swiss. I don't know if I'm going to be involved in the top cut. It starts at 2:30 in the morning, which is not great for me, for my time zone. But I'll be streaming the entirety of the Saturday, starting at noon, my time, which is like the Swiss cut for, generally for Americas. Not that you have to be there to participate. It just makes sense. I know Juniper is going to be casting with me. I'm assuming there's going to be other people too. I don't know if I'm going to be on for all the rounds as much as I usually like to. But we'll see for sure. What I hear is you need a bigger office / room. Yeah, I think in general, my partner and I need a bigger apartment, but this apartment's pretty affordable for what we get. So I haven't decided, excuse me. 9 of the UK Netrunner districts will be part of regional circuit with additional participation pricing and cool stuff. Oh, super cool. So it's like, this is a district, but also has additional prize support because it's part of the regional circuit. And then there's regionals points. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think that's actually quite cool. I wonder if you're worried that there's not enough prize support for districts, because I don't think there is. And so the regionals prize support kit will definitely embellish that. I'm also story and spoiler season for MTG and Star Wars Unlimited. Melanoe, how's it going? Also, hopefully you're doing well, okay? I didn't know that. I've been only hearing a bit of Star Wars Unlimited news because I know there was like some kerfuffles with certain people winning events and stuff like that. I've been following that drama slightly. I'm not a big MTG person, but yeah, it looks like it's spoiler seasons for everyone. That's pretty exciting. Big news from NSG with Keiko plushies and 2-player convention mats going up on the online store. Yeah, that just dropped today. I have the tab open. Shout out to Keiko, who's been joining us for a while now. I'll go through all that stuff for sure. New Fab Sub is super hype. Do you happen to have interest in that game? Yeah, Clockwork. I used to play Flesh and Blood, Constructed. Like I used to play a fair bit a couple of years ago. So I started playing in North America when many people started playing, which was the Monarch set. And so that was my first set. I started playing competitively by the time that, what's it called? Not ever. What's the name of the set? The one that had Lexi in it. Lexi, the busted one, and the really annoying warrior, not warrior, guardian. Excuse me if I don't know the name of the set, but I used to play a fair bit back then. At that point, I left my full-time job and I game is very expensive, so I stopped playing constructed. I still casually play. I have like a bunch of pre-constructed decks that are mostly like rares and commons that you play as a board game. I like that a lot. And I go out to just about every pre-release I can. So I'll play like limited. I don't have the money to like build a constructed deck in Flesh and Blood, which is a pretty expensive game compared to Netrunner, which you can play largely for free. But I also do have like staples that I bought back then. Like I have my Command and Conquers. I have a Spring Tunic. I have Art of Wars, I guess, is banned now, E-Strikes. So like I technically have a lot of cards that could be used to play constructed, but like I don't know, I play Ranger. I don't want to buy Codex of Frailties for like $300 or whatever it is. So I'm not playing constructed, but I do think Flesh and Blood, if it was an accessible game, it is such a good card game. The problem is it is, you know, a CCG. It's not great. Still talking about Arkham. Oh, cool. Oh, okay, the Arkham deck. Yes, that deck was really fun. 2 recording studios in 1 apartment can get cramped, especially if you want ample living space. Yeah, it's a problem. Hoshiko the GOAT is back, Anarchs are back, and the game is good again. Actually, I honestly don't know if Hoshiko's been performing that well to be that excited about Hoshiko. But yeah, I'm happy that Hoshiko's around. Got him. How's it going? Hello, gamers. Hoshiko feeling slow now without price. How did you ever survive before? I honestly don't know. You didn't have to like not die to Azamari on turn 5 consistently back in the day. But it does feel a bit slow. I don't know what it is. It's like if you don't draw well against Asa, they can kind of just like snowball forward. I'm not sure. Keiko plushie detected. Yeah, that's been there since Worlds. It's been around. She's been around for a bit. Really tempted to get the 2-player teaching mat. Flip, how's it going? Okay, I guess I'll just show it. So these finally came on the market. These were being teased for a while. So firstly, these NSG Netrunner tokens, they showed off, I feel like a month ago. A pack of these is only $15 US, which is not bad. They're cardboard. I really think there should be a photo on this page that shows you what they look like. Maybe there is here. Oh yeah, good. There is here. They look really nice. They're thick cardboard. I think the styling actually like, I'm a bit specific on what I like my things to look like, but I really like this minimalist style. I think it's nice and clean. You get to see how they did core damage, and like there's these cool virus counters that have a very cool shape to them. I think this is great. I think you get enough tokens, which is fine. You get generic counters. The backs are being different is really important. That was a problem with early NSG, or sorry, early FFG, is that the clicks were the same on both sides. So here when you flip the clicks, you can tell if they're decolored or not colored. I think that's fantastic. And it's $15 generally with shipping included. So it's 22 Canadian. That's not that bad at all. I think I might pick one of these up at some point, but only as like a thing to have. I generally use the nice neon static poker chips, which I think look good on stream or on video content. They look really good on video content, but I'll probably pick one of these up at some point when I make an order from the store for whatever comes up. Now, they announced 2 other things. They have this big old playmat. This is the envelopment art. No, this is the Maskarovka art. Uh-oh, how do I not know? My guess is envelopment, right? Yeah, this is envelopment art. This is a Scott-Aminga. It's fantastic. It's probably a taller art than we see, and so it fits really well. Yeah, it looks like it is cropped on the real art. And then you have a 2-player playmat. Now, this means it takes up a lot of the table. This is good for convention spaces that have a fixed table. One of the issues I have with playmats is I don't know how to store playmats. Like, I have a lot of Netrunner playmats. I try to give them away because I generally only need 2 playmats. Maybe 1 is probably the minimum. 2 is like, okay. But I have a lot of old vintage playmats because those used to be part of just about most prize kits back in the FFG era. Not that NSG doesn't give out playmats. I'm at the point generally, unless the playmat is like really something special, if I win a playmat, I'll just be like, I'm good. I have enough playmats. Now, I don't know how do you store this. Like, how do people store playmats? Because the thing is huge. Unless it lives permanently on your table, I don't know what to do with it. It's really big. It's relatively expensive. It's like 80 Canadian, I think. 55 US. That's like 80 Canadian, I think. So it's a big product. I think shipping this is going to be a pain in the ass. It probably comes in a tube. But I think a lot of people will quite like this. It has the basic actions on the card, which is nice. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I honestly would be okay. Not that like I think Scott-Aminga's art is fantastic, but I feel like I'd also be fine with something like this that has a more simple background as well. I feel like a lot of times a lot of playmats get too busy. And so a bunch of my favorite playmats are playmats where the art is relatively subdued. This one's a bit loud for me. And again, I think it's fantastic art, but maybe for a playmat, not maybe my favorite. Where like right now I'm playing with 2 playmats from Worlds and the Worlds previous. I have Coalescence, which is the sort of like calm, has a lot of empty space playmat. I'm into that. And then the other one is from Worlds a year before, World Tree, very similar as well. This one's a bit busier, but it looks nice. I think they're great. I think I'm excited to see this in person. I want to see someone who buys this. Oh, and finally Keiko's around, which I got Keiko at Worlds. Fantastic. Keiko's great. Tales of Aria, yo. Tales of Aria, yeah, that's the name. Damn. Okay, yeah. It's been a while. It'd be sad to miss out on the spins at 25th. Hopefully people will pass them down. I'm like kind of not sure people will pass down spin doctors because people are excited to have multiple spin doctors because people have multiple decks. I know back in the day when FFG put out their spin doctor alt art, it was definitely the alt art where if you won a second copy of it, people would keep them. Normally, if I won a second copy of like pop-up windows, a playset, I'd be like, I don't need more pop-up windows. As much as pop-up window is the coolest card of all time, they would pass them down. There's a chance it's not going to be the case, but I don't know. As a board game version sounds great on the game. I have a set of such decks for teaching new players for Fab. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I also like the easy way into Fab, and I know that they have pre-constructed, classic constructed decks, which are $50. That's not bad. Is like I don't think Blitz is a fun format, so I'd rather play like classic constructed at a lower power level. Hey, we're talking about Arkham. I didn't do it this time. Veronica, we skirted around Arkham. How are you doing? The virus tokens have a cool design. They're really, really good. I love the blue click trackers. Yeah, I honestly think that the design of these tokens like is fantastic. It's really, really quite good. I do like how minimal they are and very readable. I don't think you need color. Like that's an easy thing to mess up. It's like you don't need color. You don't need to be able to see color to understand the entirety of the tokens. The fact that also bad publicity is not the backside of tags is nice. That's a thing that was an FFG relic. And again, the click and unspent click being two different shapes and colors is great. Sort of shapes, if you know what I mean. I think the credits look a bit plain, but the rest look nice to me. I'm totally fine with plain. I'm a very simple person. I think if you've seen the very little Métropole Grid merch that exists, it's just like red t-shirt with the logo. That's kind of my jam. I like the simplicity. I know it's not everyone's thing. Viruses are cool. I like these tokens. I happen to make my own via 3D printer just a week before such. There's a lot of people out there that have their own cool tokens, whether they're, you know, from FFG. I found some old FFG tokens recently that were still in like sealed in like, you know, plastic wrap in a closet when I was cleaning at the beginning of the year. And I got to give them out to people locally who don't have tokens. But it's really nice that there's something that you can pick up at a convention space or on their store, because this is like a weird spot, but I don't think it made the game less accessible. I think just people are happy that these exist. Having these to pair with the demo games for sale with Gateway will be super important. Yes, and I think people will pick these up. I wonder if the margin on this is better than the margins on selling cards, right? Like, obviously NSG is not for profit, but it's like, yeah, we could sell more tokens. You know what I mean? Okay, never mind. You need to play more Ob if you've forgotten development art. Well, we just also need to play Maskarovka. It has really good art too. You see, it's similar. It's more Scott-Minga. I thought it was this one, but I haven't played development in a long time. I bought them in the mats immediately. It's going to be great for teaching new people. Hey, Kato, how's it going? Glad you picked one up. I want to see the 2-player mat in person. It might be perfect for like, you know, a setup like that. That's for sure. To be fair, a lot of app decks don't have room for envelopment. Yes. It's less popular than it used to be. I have so many mats at this point. I'm going to start stacking them to the wall. Tacking them to the wall as overcomplicated posters. Yeah, I don't know what to do with them. One of my favorite playmats I bought that I haven't even taken out of the tube is I have this playmat. Oh, hold on. Am I going to get it? This playmat, the root playmat. This playmat was not organized play. For a while, Fantasy Flight Games sold like 3 or 4 playmats with art from the game. And so I bought this root playmat on clearance like many, many years ago. It was like $4 or $5. And just so that if I ever want to feel like I'm playing on Shinteki.net, I have this art. For those who don't know, and maybe this is a legacy thing, this was not a very good card. It was the root, and 3 credits is a lot. Allows you to do anything with them. It costs 6 to res though, which is pretty absurd. But this art, I've probably stared at it more than any other Netrunner art to date. So, hey, Changeling mostly stored in a tube. Yeah, and then you got to store tubes. Tubes don't store well. My buddy has a playmat rack. Oh, I think I've started seeing those things that like you hang on the back of doors, right? Like it's kind of like the shoe thing that you can put like tubes in. So like an artist, I guess. I have the big Arkham mat and it lives rolled up in a plastic tube. It comes in. Yeah. At some point when I buy a house, I'm going to have a room that's just padded with all the playmats I have, the safe room. Yeah, that's always like the dream, you know, the millennial dream. One day I'll buy a house and I'll have a room for board games. We'll figure it out. The remix straight up gave me an envelopment mat when I was in Seattle. Massive shout out. Yo, that's sick. Shout out to the remix. The person running towards the corpse side is just an excellent theming. Oh, on envelopment? Yeah. You mean Jackson? Yes, I said Spin Doctor. I meant Jackson Howard. When they were doing Spin Doctor alt arts as a Fantasy Flight Games. I think it was part of a store championship kit. I don't think it was a GNK. I think it was slightly harder. Hey, Utati, congratulations on your performance. I'm pretty sure if I understand how the things work. Got the Cat's Cradle playmat at a CO last week and it's pretty fire. Cat's Cradle's really good. I think the last playmats that NSG has been putting out are been like very good. Like not every playmat is a banger, but I think some of the last NSG ones were all bangers. Yeah, Cat's Cradle is really good. Hey Radish, something like Toll Booth is ideal. IMO not too busy. Like the NSG Toll Booth? Yeah, that's not too busy. I'm fond of this toll booth. I like this toll booth a fair bit too. Got really sick around New Year's and I'm still recovering, so it could be better. Ah, Veronica. I hear that it is already a bit better. Hopefully it gets a lot better soon. Huh? Hopefully you're doing okay. Giving us 10 click trackers right after banning Lumos. Cruel touch. It's for both players. You share them. Jai, get a friend. Share them with your friends. Do you really need to play Maskarovka? I think it's a cool card. Hey Honk, how's it going? Esteban, good morning. How you doing? Thanks to the insistence of one of my lovely partners, I use Ultra Pro matte sleeves with Velcro strips to hang playmat. It's like a rigid case card sleeves, but playmat sized. All right, it looks like Milanomi's getting a cut from the nice people at Ultra Pro. Let's see exactly what that product looks like. The heck is a matte sleeve? No, this is showing me actual sleeves. I'm definitely missing something. There's definitely storage devices. Like I got a tube for a playmat. I just hate putting it in there because rolling it up takes like 10 minutes and I'm bad at it. The top shelf of my Netrunner cabinet has 20 or something Netrunner mats rolled up on it. I think I have like 20 of them under a bed. Like I just did a nice little fold and I put them away and I'll hopefully never have to look at them in a while. Did you get a big vase for the playmats? Like folks keep umbrellas in? Yeah, you got to get like a short sword sheath and just like carry it. Hey, Métropole, haven't been around for a while. Hey, Kira, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Okay, we've caught up to chat. We've done it. Yeah, at some point, once I say I have to catch up on chat, that dissuades people having conversation because you're like, the stream can't start if I keep talking. It's like when, you know, people are just waiting for you to quiet down so they can do their cheers at a dinner table. I don't think I'll ever stop using the banner playmat. That's an all-time incredible playmat. Yeah, I think that is like the era of NSG playmats being sick. And shout out, unfortunately, Balance Sheet, just like a fantastic Netrunner artist. From my understanding, Balance Sheet is now an art director or some sort of prominent art position at Fantasy Flight Games. So I do not think Balance Sheet's going to be doing more art for NSG in the near future. But Balance Sheet is really good. And this thing looks fantastic blown up because you actually see those like there's scan lines kind of going across the card. Again, it's like a bummer that Netrunner DB uses these low res images. I get it. But there's so much detailing that's lost unless you see the full card or the full DPI scan. This has a lot of really cool texture work. Same with Umbrella as well, which is another really nice playmat from Balance Sheet. Same idea, has the sort of like scan lines across. So nice. Send more messages so we can desync chat. Too late, Axu. You can find if you look for playmat top loader. Milanomi not giving up on that Ultra Pro money. Wait, what? You cover your playmat in plastic? Oh, so you can like store it. That is kind of cool. Like you don't play, do you play with it in plastic? Or do you just use this so you can like put like many of them in a drawer and leaf through them like their albums? Like this is basically like taking like a vinyl and putting it in the vinyl case. I can't tell if this is charming. That is expensive. Oh, it's for 5 of them. Okay. 33 euros. Yeah, this is 34. I'm hoping Canadian, but this is for 5 of them. So like, it is what it is. This is the content we crave. Gotta chat more, need more stalling content. It encourages me to chat more. Yeah, it's fine. It's honestly, it's totally fine. Can you play 4 Agenda Builder of Nations today? It seems like a fun deck to show to the world. No, I don't think you can actually. How? Like, what's the biggest agenda in standard? Oh, you're even saying Builder of Nations. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do any part of that. Regenesis playmat. The Regenesis is the playmat that comes in the upcoming districts that have started technically. I don't know if anyone's been to a district yet. I'm running a district in Montreal in the next 2 or 3 months, but I don't have my kit yet. As soon as I have my kit, I'll sit down with the store and figure out a time. I'm going to try to end for March or April. I believe it's legal, but it does have a Regenesis playmat. I think maybe 3, maybe 5. One's always for the tournament organizer for their discretion, but this art is also fantastic. Payment received. Only to hang them on the wall. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Is the price support announced? For districts? Yes. For districts, it's Regenesis's, Spin Doctors, and SDS drone deployments. Yeah. SDS is the harder to get, and it has a backside, which is really cool. It's different. It's not tournament legal, the backside, technically, for competitive tournaments. And then the Spin Doctor is a very notable card. Hold on, we can pull this up. Because Spin Doctor is, if I'm not mistaken, the first time a canonical Netrunner character has appeared looking different on 2 different cards, out of it being like aging or, you know, some sort of narrative beat. Now, if Spin Doctor is a unique card, but it is not technically a person, the way that Jackson Howard is a person, there's one Jackson Howard in the world. So Spin Doctor is just somebody with that skill set. But this Spin Doctor looks very different than the one that's styled after that actor I never know the name of from the Armando Iannucci show / film. But yeah, this one also has a little badger. Little badger. Have we seen Tuno's prize card for CBI yet? I don't think so. Hey, Ren, how's it going? I know a lot of people who use those playmat sleeves for playing on signed or sketched on playmats as well as for storage. Oh, that's really cool. That's kind of neat. Brendan, how does that convert to credits? In ONR, 1 credit is 500,000. 1 credit is 500,000 currency. I forget what currency they use in ONR. In Netrunner, there is a conversion rate. I remember Izzy brought it up during a podcast we were on about how a credit is different to the runner and the corporation. And I think a runner credit is like a nice meal. Well, a corporation credit is like $1 billion plus. It's really, really cool. Peter Capaldi, thank you. It's Capaldi, yeah. SDS being hard to get is sad for me since it's the one I'm really gunning for. You can do it. You got to believe in yourself. You got to play real hard, but there's only 8 of them. You can go to multiple districts maybe, but like, I think we're entering an era where the prize support is going to get harder to get. I don't think this kit has enough prize support, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Captured Werewolf SDS is pretty cool. I like it a lot. Also, like, whoever decided to make this like a Sega Master System album art, like, that is a very cool choice. That was very, very interesting. And I'm so excited that they're doing something with the backs of cards, because backs of cards are a waste of space. The Spin Doctor is not a specific person, then why is it unique? Mechanically, honestly, just mechanically. It's not good for the game if this wasn't unique, because you could have multiple res and then it would probably be pretty bad. But mostly mechanically. Maybe they can only employ 1 Spin Doctor, because 2 Spin Doctors, they unspin the first spin and then you just have Doctor. Eurodollar? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Eddie's. I think it is Eurodollars because it is Cyberpunk. Is this SDS the same artist as the World Stuff Guy? Yep, it's actually the same art. Right? Like this clip here, it's all 1 mega art. I'm assuming at some point it'll show up on a playmat or something, but it is all 1 piece of art. So you actually see these spikes here at the bottom. Mind you, the background is a tree line, but it is just a direct continuation of something that I thought would be very easy to find. Yeah, like you see the hand of the Lobisomeo. It's right here behind the text of the card. It's 1 piece of art. Julio Roca did 1 big card. Oh, can you see my mouse? Oh, you can now. If I click away, you can't. But yeah, it's down here is the Lobi. I think the Stop Guy's a playmat. I don't know if it did. Maybe it does. I'm not sure it does. It's a corporate job. Once you get used up, they hire someone else. Yeah. I hate that Mr. Hendrick isn't unique. Oh, but that one makes sense. They're like triplets. It's kind of a joke. But also, it not being unique has huge ramifications for the balance of that card. I understand that you don't like it, but it is really cool. The RL value of a game credit is in the comprehensive rules. Yes, which is such a funny place for lore stuff to be. I totally agree. And I was incredibly blindsided when Izzy was like, oh, by the way, we know how much a credit is worth. And everyone's like, wait, what? And Izzy was like, yeah, it's in the comprehensive rules. It's so goofy. Yeah, there's a lore for why Mr. Hendrick isn't unique, and it's really funny. Yeah, it's on the flavor text. I know they have the flavor text to justify it, but once you run into more than one, yeah, you're going to take a core damage. They paid 4 credits for it, and they had to set up a 2-card combo. Like, I get it. But yeah, it's unavoidable. Core damage doesn't feel great. I hear you. All right, quick recap. Classically, Nano was on this box, so I can pull it. But this weekend, we had the ONR draft. I don't think I've really prepared my thoughts on this, but we had 8 people show up to the Silver Goblin at noon to play some ONR, which, if you're not familiar, ONR is original Netrunner. I've been working on this cube for a long time. I got really lucky getting together a pretty robust collection, either from folks who've sent it into the channel, from folks locally, and also I had a great time this last summer playing some ONR and picking up some ONR cards. I have to give a huge thank you to Teo, or Redino, if you know Redino, who plays in like the northeast of the states, who is like a big time ONR collector, who actually like at an event this summer cracked out like unopened packs, and we played sealed ONR for the first time. And I was like, wait, this is hella cool. It's really hard to emphasize about ONR. And not only is the theme and the tone of this game so different, and not only is this game so fundamentally different than the ONR that I have and will continue to experience for a couple reasons, we'll come back to that. But it is just such a charming and strange game. I think one important thing to say about ONR, and this is very clear once you play it, is that the speed of the game is entirely different if you're not playing constructed. So one of the reasons why ONR that you play when you play draft or sealed is so different than classic standard ONR is that original Netrunner, it didn't have influence and it didn't have factions, but also it basically didn't have deck building rules. As long as your deck was a certain size and played enough agendas, there was no maximum values of each card you could play. So there was a lot of decks, from my understanding, that would play like 9 or 10 of the same card. And so inherently, most decks were combo decks. So you had things that were like Sea Source into Scorched Earth, or like Public Trail into End of Line for the modern equivalent. So you just had decks that were like, I'm going to fast advance every single point from hand across like 5 turns if I can generate enough economy. You had just like really weird busted stuff. And so the speed of that game, which was a very combo centric game from my understanding, is totally different than when you play a limited format where there just isn't the ability in the card pool to generate these sort of combos that mess the game up. So understanding that is a different game than what ONR was. The cool thing about playing ONR sealed or draft is the game is at a different speed. It's weird. We played on Saturday. We played 40-minute rounds. Our first round was 42 minutes, and everyone still had to read their cards, but people mostly, their games did not go to time. And that is weird because looking at ONR games are probably 2 to 3 times as long in terms of turns. And the idea is that in ONR, the basic action card is the most important card you have by a mile, specifically when you're playing limited, where you have obviously like weird decks. And that is because on most turns, you'll like draw a card, install a card, click for 2 credits. You'll click for 3 credits, make a run. It's very strange. Your turns, from my experience, become these sort of like fast turns because you do the basic actions quickly and a lot of them. And it's kind of interesting. Like I really, really dig it. To show you the power level and the speed of the game, I need to show you like an economic node for this to make sense. So nodes are what they call assets. They function the same. But like, let's look at a card like, show me this one. All right, I don't love the art on this one. But this thing is basically you res it for 4 credits. You trash it for 7, which is very expensive. And you put 12 bits on it, 12 credits. And at the start of your turn, you take 1 bit off. So how many turns does it take for this card to be good? You res it for 4 and you get $1 off of it every turn. That means for this to survive, you need 6 turns for it to be an okay economy card. And even then, it's a click for 2 credits, right? And that just kind of shows you, because I actually think Holovid Campaign is a totally reasonable card in the draft. Apologies for that art. Is a fine card. And that's because turns, you just take so many turns in the game because so many of your turns are just like install a card, click for 2 credits. Next turn, advance, click for 2 credits. And the game, just like the rate of the speed of which the game goes is so different. So it's hard to evaluate economy cards. Trash for 7 is weird. But the thing is, like, if the runner really wants to trash that for 7, they basically have to spend 2 to 3 turns doing it, let alone you should probably ice it up. I think you should ice it up. Oh God, this makes Refuge Campaign look tier 1. Yes. And that is the weird thing you have to understand about ONR is that like the games are now 15 turns. They're about like 30 turns, but the game isn't slower. You just do the basic actions more and you just have more start of turn triggers. So it's very, very strange. Now, when we showed up at noon, we were there very early. I had to do a rules explanation. The difference between ANR and ONR is about a 15 to 20 minute explanation. And I really love rules explanations. I think they're quite fun. Now, I do think I got some feedback that maybe the rules explanation should have been done beforehand. I don't know, on an article or something like that, so we can get into drafting a bit sooner. I love explaining stuff, so that hurts a bit. But the biggest reason is we just did not have enough time. We were there between noon and we left at 6 when the store closed. We might have been able to stay a bit later because other people were still playing board games by the time we left. I don't know what the rules are there. But drafting took about 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. So we only got in 3 rounds of Netrunner, which is a bummer. It means I only played my corporation deck once and I played my runner deck twice. I wish I played more because I drafted a really cool corporation deck specifically. My runner deck was a bit more value pilled, but my corporation deck was really, really cool. Drafting just takes a long time in Netrunner because doing one draft, you have to do 2 drafts, right? Like you have to draft the corp deck and then you have to draft the runner deck and then you still have to build your decks. So inherently, like having 6 hours to do a draft just doesn't make sense. I think you need at least 8 hours to draft and actually get in 5 or 6 games. So it's a bit of a bummer. For what it's worth though, if I just drafted ONR and I didn't play any games, I would still be like 60 to 70% happy because so much of this experience is just seeing all these old cards, seeing cards that are direct reprints, cards that are bad ideas, cards that are not what we would call balanced in modern Netrunner. And it's just an absolute treat to go and through these and see again the history of this game that we care about so much. This is overtime incentives. It's just biotic labor. This card was printed in 1996 and 2024. The same card exists and will be legal for another couple months, right? Like these cards just get printed. Sometimes they even have the same names, but then you see other things where like, wait, what the heck are they talking about here? Let's see if we can find something incredibly egregious. Ooh, I can't find it. I'll be able to find it. Look for a very expensive card. Okay, let me show you this. Oh, no, this one's not that. For instance, there's an operation that is just big deal, but it costs 12, right? Like when you draw that, you're like, there's no way I'm not picking this. There's a thing that plays 3 advancement counters that costs 10. It's an operation, and it doesn't have the sort of seamless launch. Like the cards are all over the place. Some of the cards are direct reprints, like Scorched Earth is just still Scorched Earth as it was back in the day. This is functionally just, you know, high profile target, but doesn't remove the tag. And then you have other stuff that are just like garbage, like a card that just says, give the runner a tag. If they're tagged, gain a credit. It's like, why would you put that in your deck? It turns out there's some reasons. Project Consultants. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. Oh yeah, cool. This is a big deal for 12 instead of 17, and it's not terminal, and it's not trashable. Or like things just don't make sense. Like it's just a strange game of a weird balance. And some of the balance is because of the rarity system, and the cube does reflect the rarity system. There's some wild double-digit res ice. Yeah, the ice gets really expensive, and like half the ice is just rototurret. Like generally, half of the ice is just rototurret with different strengths and different res costs, but they all say like trash a program and the run. It's very, very strange. Let me catch up on chat a bit. Hey, Gyro, how's it going? You can finish an entire ONR game in the time it takes to resolve a bacterial fire during a trick shot run. Yep. This is why Go clicking for credits isn't bad. Click for forego makes things go fast. Honestly, yes, and it feels okay in this game because the corporation is matching your speed. Pitbull, we need to revive the keyword. Seems awesome. There's a lot of dog ice. There's even an icebreaker called Dog Catcher that breaks like hellhounds and watchdogs and pitbulls. There's black ice. Like types are so wild in this game, and they matter, but they also don't matter. Like AP exists on some cards, but not other cards, even though those cards are anti-personnel. Killers shows up on sentries, but also on some sentry breakers. The term killer shows up. I don't know why. Like this guy's a killer. I don't know what that means. If it's just a rototurret. It's just a 5-cost 1-strength rototurret. Let me catch up on chat. Old ETF 5s. Terrence, how's it going? I really love rules explanation and man after my own heart. Hey, Seth. The drafting process can be slow, especially if you don't know the cards. Yes, everyone reading every card slows it down. And also, for what it's worth, ONR cards have a lot of text. And I think one feedback that I definitely got, which is not actionable feedback, is that it's hard. It's hard to read these cards. Like, read this. For what it's worth, this is a sentry ice. And sentry ice are displayed this way as opposed to this way. Code gates and barrier are displayed the way we're more used to, but sentries kind of look more like programs. But reading this tiny black text just sucks. A lot of people start reading this and be like, that's too much to read, and they stop, right? Like reading is really difficult on some of these cards, especially like the code gates if they have a lot of words. I know this is flavor text, but like reading that is just hard. It's just very, very difficult. That is a hard thing to get around for some folks, myself included. There's a lot of cards I started reading. I was like, it's probably not worth the effort. I want to ask, since you're here, Seth, is there an official way to become a judge for Netrunner? I have not managed to find any info on the webs like a judge program. Clockwork, Seth can answer, probably did, but there is no official rules to become a judge in Netrunner. I would love there to be a Netrunner judge test just for fun. Some people have made them, but I don't think there's any thing formal. My first experience with ONR was just sealed decks instead of draft. Made it so I didn't have to consider a giant unknown card pool. Me too. I played sealed before. I still have some sealed product. Well, it was sealed where you opened like one of these. And then you opened like 2 or 3 packs. This one's still sealed. Shout out also, we had people drafting who are younger than this game, who this game was older than they were. So I got a bit of feedback on the cube. I think overall the cube worked. I think everybody was playing different archetypes well. There was net damage archetypes, there was tag archetypes. I was playing fast advance. To show you my deck, and I actually really like this, and I kind of wish parts of this existed in ANR, is that there's some really bad agendas, like this one that I'm pretty sure has Charlie Sheen on it. This is Hostile Takeover. It's not your Hostile Takeover, it's a Hostile Takeover. Oh no, this is not the card I want. Hold on, not the Charlie Sheen one. I want a different one. I want this. So I got an executive extraction relatively early, and I was like, okay, this is good. Noteworthy as a corporation, if you don't draft enough agendas, you just get a blank 5/3 agenda with no text. So you really do want to draft agendas. Originally, the blank 5/3 was meant to be a priority requisition, but then we figured out priority requisition is actually a pretty good agenda. So we'll give you a blank 5/3 if you can't make your 18 requisite points. So this is executive extraction. And it says gray ops agendas is reduced by 1, but notably it's not a gray ops. And I quickly drafted 2 of these. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I don't mind scoring off a 3-1 like that. That actually makes the game other agendas interesting. And then I started drafting weird agendas. There's another version of that card that says black agendas. Black ops agendas are easier to score out. I think I had one of those too. So I had a couple of these cards that were 3/1s that when you score them reduce the cost of another one. There's ones that reduce researches, there's ones that reduce black ops, there's ones that reduce gray ops, but each of them is a different type. So it's like this weird kind of rock paper scissors game where the research helps black ops, the black ops helps gray ops, and so on and so forth. And functionally, the one corporation game I played, I fast advanced out 9 points, right? Like when corporate war becomes a 2-3 agenda. Admittedly, when I scored this, it bankrupted me. This says if you have 12 or more credits, gain 12, otherwise lose all your credits. I was on 7 credits, and I'm like, I'm going to fast advance this out anyways and get 3 extra points. But I built a deck that just fast advances points from hand, and you have some really good cards. Like all the agendas have types. Like gray ops become a lot better when this data fort reclamation becomes a 3/2, and then the 3/1s become 2/1s, and this hostile takeover becomes a 2/1 that gives you 5 credits. Like it's just kind of fun. You also have a lot of upgrades. Oh, check this out. This is a marine arcology. You can score this out fast advance, and it's a 2/2 that you can double click to gain 3 credits. It's a Gia Hands arcology if you knew that card back from the day. It worked out really well. Again, I only played 1 game of it, but it was a really fun game. Notably too, there's a whole bunch of upgrades like Sansan City Grid. And while Sansan City Grid does exist in this cube, Washington DC City Grid is just difficulty of agendas installed in this fort is reduced by 1. So it's just Sansan City Grid. It's expensive to res and trash. But there's also versions of these upgrades that just say black ops are easier to advance in this remote server, or gray ops or researches. And I had a bunch of those. And so my deck was all about fast advancing and caring about agenda types. And then all my ice was just like good enough ice for cost. And then I had a lot of economy, a lot of node assets, and it was just a really fun deck. On the runner side, it was just kind of a bit of a value. I did not draft in any killers until like the last round, and I was getting very scared. I drafted a really busted killer eventually. That was quite fantastic. It was very, very, very good. Does ONR have a clot? No, I don't think I saw an ONR clot. There are cards that make advanced agendas harder to score. There's like a source that's permanent. So I don't know the name of it. It might be an expansion, which I don't have the cards up for the expansion. But there's a card like this that you can install by forfeiting an agenda point, and it just says all agendas have +1. Which is disgusting. It's really, really disgusting. It doesn't go away, right? Like it doesn't do this. It just says all agendas have +1. There's a couple viruses that make agendas harder to score out. So it's hard. It's just generally hard. But fast events look pretty good, as much as I got a lot of fast event stuff. Yeah. Imagine using project consultants to score 2 agendas. You can do it. Is the strength of the ice in the text box? On some of them, yeah. I think on most of them, they look like icebreakers. But if you look at code gates and barriers, or the barriers are called walls, they are sideways. So they look more conventional, like what you think modern ice looks like. So like this is the biggest barrier in the core set, I think, maybe. So the strength is down here. That's a 6, not a 9. Hard to not mess that up. And that's a 13. And then sentries have like kind of like icebreakers. The power is in the bottom left corner. Love to see cards like hedge funds. Yep, almost all the core cards. Like the 2012 FFG core set is mostly reprints from ONR. Feels like a sizable Netrunner population is younger than the game. Everyone under 28 is younger than the OG Netrunner. Yep. We need to score agendas with extra credits in our pool, or wouldn't pay us 7 credits. Yes, it was pretty bad. If credit values are uneven for corp and runner, shouldn't Count Siphon perform a conversion? It does though, Ron, doesn't it? Because you take 1 from the corporation and gain 2. So it technically converts it by doubling it, but you can also assume that the Count Siphon function is not perfectly efficient. So some is lost on the way. That's the way I would see it. But classically, Count Siphon was 1 out, 2 in. So at least doubles the value of money. Yeah, Cold Lava, we keep it this weekend. It was really fun. We also did another thing for the ONR Cube, which I did not know into the ONR rules. ONR has a different tournament rule. So you're generally meant to play double-sided Swiss. We played single. And when you sit down from your opponent, you play a game. And if you win the game, you get 10 points. Your opponent gets points equal to the number of agenda points in their score area. Neat. So while we can't follow that because Aesop's tables doesn't care about those numbers, we just played with pairing based off of wins. And then after that, we went back and then checked about how many points and added those up. And it actually had a different standing. For what it's worth, Remy, who you might know as Wasa, the guy who made the keyhole plugin for Twitch, which doesn't work right now, but we'll get back to that. He got 30 points. I had a chance of coming in first place in my final run against Remy on the top table. On my last turn, my choice was to basically trash a 1-cost upgrade from the top of R&D and run back through an ice that would destroy a program, but I was pretty sure there had to be an agenda on top of the deck. I decided not to do that. I ran Archives, ran HQ. I missed the 1 and 7 in HQ because he had +2 hand size, and he scores at the last point in the remote server. It turns out if I trashed the upgrade on top of R&D and went back, I would have won the game, which I think made sense because I saw so few agendas to that game, but Remy went undefeated and he won 30 points. Now, I won 2 games, but I only scored, I think on the game I lost, I only got to 5 points. So my final score was 25. But we had another player who won 2 games, but in the game that they lost, he had 6 points. So he had 26. And so while my strength of schedule was, according to modern rules, stronger than that player, so I would have been ahead, his 26 beats my 25. Notably, too, we had a player who only won 1 game, but in one of the games that he lost, he got 5 points. And another game that he lost, he got 6 points. So he ended up getting 21 points, which actually beat out one of the players who only won 2 games but scored no points in the 1 game that they lost. So winning 1 game actually beat a player who won 2 games. It's a really weird ranking system. It's interesting because it cares about, like, on the last turn, if just try and get points. Getting points at all points of the game is probably worth something. I don't think it's perfect, and if you don't know why, consider intentional drawing, where then every game can be worth 16 points when you intentionally draw against your opponent. That's not a good system, but it was weird. The feedback from that, mind you, that players got is like, it feels like it disincentivizes kill decks, because a lot of the people who lost playing a kill deck would lose on 0 points. I do think a lot of the kill decks actually incentivize you to score out agendas, and maybe that's something we've learned, that if you build a kill deck, you probably should score out points. But like round 2, I played against Paul, and Paul was playing a tag and bag deck. I had to clear a lot of tags. I got really lucky that my tech line up, and he ran some really scary advanceable traps that made tags and me damage more frightening. But I ended up winning, and he had no points. So unfortunately, I get 10 and he gets 0. So that's an issue. So not a perfect system for a couple reasons, but it was really fun to try out, and we got some good feedback on it. But it's a fascinating system to try out for sure. Yeah, kill deck is 10 or 0. Unless you score points on the way. And for what it's worth, I think we learned that if you do build a kill deck, you probably should score some agendas. And there's a lot of agendas that really care about kill decks, right? Like Netwatch Operations Office is an action to trace 2 to give the runner a tag. Mind you, traces work differently. This is a 4/3, which is a really good numbers. Do 1 meat damage, use this ability on the runner's tag. Like, there are good agendas that care about tagging. You just also have to, you know, score them out and draft them and stuff. So I don't think you can play straight kill unless you win. And a bunch of the kill decks did win. I think people got flatlined on turn 2 or turn 3. Classically, I think Pat floated a tag after a snare and died to Scorched Earth. Like, it's 2012 all over again. So you can't just die out of nowhere. This is why FA was a major meta force over kill in early ANR. Yes, I believe it. I totally believe it. It's up to us to play more ONR to figure out if the cube is drafted or if the cube is structured in a way that kill versus like how much prevention effects the runners have, if that feels balanced. I don't know. The other feedback too is like, I think a bunch of the players said that they would love to be able to have a bit of a primer before this, either a basic primer on drafting, because some players have never drafted before. So saying basic stuff like draft 2 of each breaker type, draft economy, even if it's bad economy, stuff like that. Like try and draft 50 nice, make sure you get your agendas. That probably would have been good. Also, I think I got some feedback that some players would have appreciated getting a primer on what cards in ONR pool are worth looking out for, because I saw I was getting actually past really good cards in like later packs. Like for instance, I think any asset that gives you economy is very good in the ONR cube, but you can only tell that if you kind of played ONR before, because the numbers look terrible. Like BBS Whispering Campaign, I think is a busted card. This is, you res it for 0, and it's basically a 0 cost regolith that you can click for 2 credits, trashes for 4. I think that one didn't get past that late, but like Brain Dance Campaign is res for 6, trash for 7, and it just gives you 2 credits at the start of every turn. This looks terrible to anybody who's played ANR, but this is actually a very good pick because any economy is really good economy in ONR, and you will get your 12 credits off of this, which makes it a click for 6, which is relatively rare for the game. But I think I was getting passed on cards later on in later packs that were like, oh, you probably should have considered even like pack 1 pick 1ing this, because Department of Truth Enhancement is just a very good card. Or like the equivalent to Melange Campaign, which is 3 clicks for 6, is really good in the format. I want to highlight the most toxic card I ran into today that Remy had in his deck, and I don't even think Remy had tags, but see how busted this card is. Oh, that's a new window. This thing is so effing annoying. And I knew about this. I heard about this one before. It's called City Surveillance. I didn't draft it, but I probably should have drafted it. It says, reses for 1, trashes for 2. It says, for every card the runner draws, give the runner a tag unless the runner pays 1, addition to other costs. So if they draw a card, you res this, they have to take a tag anytime they draw. And if they can't trash this, they generally have to draw through their deck to be able to trash this. It's just toxic. But on top of that, you may res this just before the card is drawn as some sort of like perverse response. So if they play Diesel equivalent, you can be like, hold on, res City Surveillance, and now they have to take 3 tags or play 3 credits. And if you ice this up, what can they do? It is totally cooked. Remy res this and didn't ice it up, and I had a chance between clearing the tag or trashing this, and I decided to clear the tag, and that was totally wrong because then he iced this up, and now I'm like, oh, that's really a problem. Luckily he couldn't res the ice on it, and I ran it and took it down the next turn. On another turn, because he drafted both of them, there's only 2 in the cube. I was lucky that I drafted a Danshi's second ID, which installs for 0, and then you can spend an action at Trashes to remove 3 tags. So on a turn, I drew 3 times, and in the last click, I used a Danshi to remove 3 tags at once. That was the only way that I could get out of that hole, because removing 3 tags is very, 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 very expensive. Some of the cards are just super cursed, and I'm so happy they don't exist, and that is one of the worst ones. Is Siren in here? No, Siren's in the expansion, but yeah, that was, I think, the most absolutely frustrating card I ran into, and Remy had both of them in his deck, and he ended up winning. Yo, Cranked, ONR City Surveillance is sick. First game of ONR I ever played, I took 5 tags off the thing on turn 1, click 1. Yep. It also teaches you weird fundamentals, whereas like if you have a credit or you have a card, in ANR, anytime that you want to draw a card on your turn, you should draw your card first and then click for the credit. But technically in ONR, if they have unres stuff on the board state, it's actually better to click for a credit and then draw the card, because if they res a City Surveillance, you can at least pay 1 to clicklessly remove the tag. I learned that the hard way, where it's just like, okay, my turn is going to be draw, credit, and I drew first, and the City Surveillance got resed. I'm like, fucking, come on, man. Cube is good. I'm excited to see. Oh, this is the one I was talking about, Corporate Ally. Installing Corporate Ally costs 1 agenda point. Notably, you can break agendas into change. Very strange. In addition to all no more costs, the difficulty of all agendas is +1, and it's a unique connection. So you can only have 1 down, but this won't get trashed unless they trash it. Yeah. I want to draft again. I thought it was so damn fun. I know the cards a bit more. I'll hit up my local meta to see if they want to do it again. I think I might address some of the pain points in some ways. I might do a bit of a primer, but I definitely need more data to figure out if the cube is balanced. It's really quite fun. I'm glad that people showed up for the whole day to play this. I definitely would have spent more time than 6 hours. 6 hours is just not enough time, that's for sure. But it was an absolute treat. And just I'm like so excited to be able to see what this game looked like back in the day, as much as like I don't think draft plays anything like Constructed did. It's just really nice to see these old cards. Caddy Jones, I had 2 of these. Hey Sam, yes. What horrifying card design. Definitely see how the depraved mind that made those old prison MTG cards would make these. There's some really wild stuff. CVs, how's it going? Convention 2-player playmats are for sale. Yeah, they just came up today. Was the purge rule relevant? Galehard, no, I don't think it was. Trace was definitely relevant. The purge rule, I didn't get purged. I played some viruses. I purged once, but I purged at... No, yeah, maybe I did purge once. I'm not sure. I don't think it was super relevant. Urban Renewal, Scorched by 5 damage? Yep. They have Urban Renewal Scorched for 5. There's a better Scorched. It's more expensive, though. Yeah. Anyways, it was really, really cool. I definitely want to do it again. I might have to wait for a while. This is another card that I think is like fundamentally shows the difference with ONR. This is a staple ONR card, if you ask me. I think this is one of the best ONR cards, but nobody drafted this. I got this in less packs. I think this was even maybe the last card I got in a pack. It says whenever you draw 1 or more cards from your stack, draw an extra card, then choose one of those cards and either trash it or return it to the top of your stack. I think this card is just busted in Sealed, because in Sealed, you're not going to play your whole deck. Your goal is just to get to your best cards in your pretty bad deck. And this functionally becomes draw for 2. So you draw one, every time you draw an extra card, and then you destroy that card unless it's not worth destroying, and then you put on top of your deck. Like, I just think this card is just so good in Sealed. But I think that's a bit more because of my experience with Sealed and my experience with ONR. This card is very, very good. A lot of the game is just finding the right piece fast enough. The class max. Yeah. It's like, this is a fun card. Imagine this fired your prices and steel skins and stuff. Very, very cool. I like this card a lot. For what it's worth, we had a total side parity. So we only played, what is it, like 12 games or something, but 50% runner win rate, 50% corp win rate. The scores were relatively even. Most people got to 20 points, just about. 1 undefeated player won, which is great. Yeah. Just like it seemed good. It seemed good, but I just wanted to play more. I really hate that I only played on the corp deck once, which is a bit of a bummer. That wording is cursed. It's not too bad. I think it's actually pretty rules complete. Whenever you draw 1 or more cards from your stack, draw an extra card, choose one of the cards drawn and either trash it or return it. No, that seems good. What are you thinking? We have verbal at home. Yeah. But this is whenever. It's not even first time. It's not even basic action. Like you can play a diesel and draw 4 and trash your worst card. Like that's totally good. That's actually very, very, very good. Would you consider running the ONR Cube at a side event at Worlds? Maybe. The problem is that Worlds, I'm generally pretty busy because I'm usually casting and doing stuff. And I'm also like very precious about this because this is a bit of an artifact. It has a lot of cards that are kind of irreplaceable. And so I might have like genuine issues handing these to people I don't know and be like, please make sure all 900 cards are back in this box. So it would have to be like kind of supervised, I guess. Maybe I have to get over that. but I don't know. But I do think there's other folks. Like shout out to probably Radino, who's also working on a cube. And Radino is a big evangelist for ONR. So we'll see. Class Act sets aside? I don't know what Class Act does. Have we seen Mastiff? Yeah, Monty, how's it going? Yeah, I think I pulled out Mastiff a couple times. I did not draft any expensive ice. I think Modernly would just have a wood. Class Act now just looks at the top of the deck. Ah. How would you say the flavor of ONR compares to FGC? Antamon, how's it going? It's very, very different. I don't want to spoil something I'm kind of working on, but I know a lot more about the ONR flavor, and it's very, very different. It's firstly much more based on cyberpunk. There's no androids, so there's no factions. Everything's grittier and darker. Runners are not good people inherently, but also corporations are obviously not good people either. So you see a lot of things like runners do despicable things. They are often portrayed as criminals. They kill one another. They murder. It's very, very, very quite dark. I think there's definitely strengths of both sides. I think runners are kind of humanized in a certain way. I find in ONR a lot more. There's a lot more cards that are about relationships and human needs and like I don't know. It feels, because it's not about characters. There's like very few named characters besides most of the upgrades. Most of the upgrades are named characters. I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot. Not that I'm saying I don't like ANR. I like ANR a lot, but it is different. Notably, also flavor text on corp cards like are shit talking the corporations. Like there's a lot of corp cards that are like from employees being like, oh, this job sucks and stuff like that, which is fun. Also, a lot of the ice is characterized as entities and people or things, which I think is really, really cool. So while you still have stuff like Wall of Ice and Wall of Static, which are a bit abstract, there's a lot more cards that are like characters and people and stuff, right? Like the big dogs and whatever the TKO is, the boxer. And so running through cyberspace and running into a boxer and understanding how that's going to be a knockout subroutine, I like that flavor a heck of a lot. You do see that still a bit in ANR, but a lot of these seem more like tangible constructs that you have to run into, which I think is kind of fun. I was losing my goddamn mind when we were going through those. The other one that stands out in my mind is Ice Pick Willie. Ice Pick Willie is the killer, yeah. There's a lot of really ugly art too in the best way possible. Ice Pick Willie is just a guy in a box who's another rototurd of sorts. Just seeing black ice on the subtypes took me back to Neuromancer. Yes, yeah. Let alone flying with the ONR cube. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd probably do that, carry on. Would it get a possible of a list of what's in your cube and what we can print on our own? Yeah, so Sam, actually somebody put out on I need to look into it, but somebody basically made proxies of every ONR card, and it's available to print on NPC if you send it out there. I have no idea what the legality of it is, so I'm not going to endorse that, but I'll be able to share my cube list. I don't think I have it up now. Actually, let me just see if I can get access to it, because I have what's in the modern cube at this moment. I've considered other things with the cube as well. Like was considering putting FFG identities and NSG identities into it. I didn't end up doing that. I think that's for the best. And the cube also could be slightly more cards. This is technically the list. This is going to be shit to read. I'm missing a handful of cards on the corp side and the runner side, but this is every single card and every single copy. Again, I put a lot of effort into this cube. A lot of these ideas of like how many agendas and how many agenda points, and I feel like we could have a couple more agendas. This is based off of the StimHack cube, where I ran through the StimHack cube and I've dissected it, where the StimHack cube has 77 agendas, 158 points, where we have 73 agendas, 158 points. I feel like I should add a couple more agendas because agendas were kind of hard to find, and agendas are important build around parts, but a lot of these numbers were based off the StimHack cube. So like how many, win cons, how many economy pieces, stuff like that. Notably, too, there's only like 580 ONR cards, and the cube contains about 550 of them. So you see most of the every single ONR cube. And there's a lot of cards that probably shouldn't exist in the cube because they're unplayably bad. But I wanted a lot of cards to be one-ofs just so you could see as much as ONR as possible. Like, I don't think there should be this many ice that costs above like 8 credits. That's probably doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe it does. It actually kind of does, because there's ways to res ice for cheap. You can build around it. But I can share this for sure. Here, let me share it now. Wait, actually, let me share it after the stream, because I don't know if editing rights are a thing. I definitely want to make sure. Was loan from Chiba in the cube? Yes, it was. There was at least 2 loan from Chibas. I had a StimHack as a pack 2 pick one. One of their players, Martin, was like very convinced. He's like, loan of Chiba is just a busted card. And I know it's a busted card in standard. It's probably a very good card in sealed. And I think he dropped it on like the second last turn of the game, and it was incredible. But yeah, it's probably worth drafting. Definitely is worth drafting. I just would not play it on the first couple turns of the game. Did you talk to Radino? Yes, I did talk to Radino. I've shared my list with the Radino the whole time, and we're trying to trade our extra copies of cards because Radino's working on a cube too. I heard this second set of ONR is super strange. Super power crept? Oh yeah, maybe. But I think it's like, the second set of ONR is them figuring out what works or not. So for instance, there's Proteus and Classic. And for instance, let's look at Classic a bit. But now the cards get just more universally better, right? Like this is Proteus and all of these agendas are busted good. This is a 3-2 that says at the beginning of your turn, draw an extra card. Honestly, maybe sometimes cursed, but it's not optional. But that's obviously a playable card. This is just Nisei Mark II. Very, very good card. And like not all the agendas in the original set were good, but I wouldn't say that these are busted. They're just very good. This is Super Serum that just purges a 3-2 when you score it. It's a research. It's good. And then this card is fascinating. It is theorem proof. It says if the runner accesses this, they do not score it, but they have to install it as a 2 MU program. And then they can click that to add to their score area. So it just eats their MU in a really awkward way. I think all these agendas were very, very draftable and very, very good. I don't think they're busted. They just seem like they figured out what was playable and started making more playable cards. This is just a Zetatech Porta Station. This is a prepaid voice pad. It costs 3 instead. The consoles got a lot better because old consoles were very expensive. These are some of the cheaper consoles that are kind of fun. More interesting ice. A lot of the code gates and barriers in the original set just said end the run. These actually have admittedly too much text. It's very hard to read. Dumpster. Some sentries all over the place. Expensive sentries. This is a daily business show that fires whenever, not only the first time. And then some of these cards still existed in the game. Bad Times is a reprint. Yeah, I don't know. It's a cool set. I think it's cool. There's all these face-on cards. This one was such a surprise when it hit the table because I could not believe it. Whenever you access cards from HQ, expose all installed cards. This came down turn 1. I was like, okay, I'm going to asset spam. And this came down turn 1 on open HQ. I'm like, wait, there's no way it works like that. Yeah, it works like that. What a card. What a card. Yeah, I know. Imagine this in modern Netrunner. I honestly think it would only be sort of cursed. Not even incredibly cursed, only sort of cursed. Like you could argue that this could exist. Different frames between ice subtypes is cursed. Yeah, the sentries are different. I do like that it's very easy to tell what's an asset and upgrade because they all have different colors. So like all the operations have brown borders, all the nodes have green borders. I do appreciate that, but that's also because they don't have factions. I think on the runner side, it's a bit muddier. This is Matador. This is the best killer I found. And I got this as a really last pick. This is basically just like, I think the numbers of Lustig or Ninja from the core set, -1 strength. But this is very, very good. A lot of sentries are like 3 to 4 strength. This was totally good for the game. It's 3 to boost 5, 1 to break sentry subroutine. It's cheap to install in 4. Anyways, game's cool. Yeah, so it's super, super wild. Oh my god, Zomba Stonks, Amakua. Yeah, you're right. Okay, it's totally cursed. But like, this is what I love. There's so many cards that people pick up to be like, oh, whoa, we can do something weird about this, which is like both how like spiky and strange ONR is, and also just like a weird new game you haven't seen before. This is Crash Space. I don't think people played this thing. It says gain a credit at the start of each of your turns. It's a Rozeki for 2, that is a unique resource. However, every trace attempt is automatically successful and gives you an additional tag. And if this loses play, you lose a dollar. Maybe it's $2, I can't tell. And then you can trash this. Like, this is not good, but it's a setup card. And I honestly think on some board stage, you can play the Crash Space and just hang out in the Crash Space for the first 5 turns and don't interact. And I think that's really fun and flavorful. And then this thing is just kind of cursed. Choose a piece of ice, pay 3 credits and trash this. The ice strength is doubled for the encounter. It can't become, if the ice strength is above 10, it becomes 10. And I drafted this. I think I ended up playing it, but I only played 1 corp game, but like just kind of fun. Just kind of fun. Inside HQ, get 10 Amakua counters. They have to be unresed cards, so maybe, but very fun. Very fun. Fetal AI is good. This is the Please Don't Choke Anyone. This is a 4-2 that if the runner accesses it, gives it a tag, but they have no other text, and it's just fun. Very, very cool. I didn't understand Viral Breeding Ground at all. When you score Viral Breeding Ground, trash all cards installed in or on the fort Viral Breeding Ground was installed in. However, when the runner accesses Breeding Ground, choose up to 2 programs for each advancement counter on Breeding Ground, and the runner has to return those to their hand. So it's like NVN program bouncing, except if you score this, it destroys your server. So it's a trap that highly incentivizes you not to score it, but just leave it on the table. But then when you score it, it nukes the server, so you shouldn't protect it. Like, very, very interesting. And then, of course, a 12-3 that if you score it is a 12-7. People drafted this. Yeah, Please Don't Choke Anyone is also a very interesting card. It's whenever you do damage, don't, and gain a counter that gives you an extra click. Very cool card to build around. I don't have this. This is one of the rares that I just don't have. I would love to have a copy or 2 even in the cube. We'll try and find one at some point. Anyways, thank you for tuning in for my ONR tangent. I'll let you know more. I got some really good feedback. Shout out to everyone who came out. I really appreciate y'all coming out and spending the Saturday, all of Saturday, basically playing it. I wish we played more games, and I have no doubt in the future it'll happen again. Think about calling my remote subsidiary data force from now on. Subsidiary is such a good word. Data fort is equally, if not better, a word. Subsidiary data fort is really good. Okay. I think we've gone over most of the news, mind you. For those who don't know, well, firstly, we talked about the tokens in the playmat. Those are sick. Those are out today. You can buy them. The other thing that's coming out is the Circuit Breaker Invitational is this weekend. I think if you haven't registered, it's too late. Yeah, I think it's too late. That's my guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's going to be a massive event. Mind you, it's online. It will be streamed. I will be streaming the North America section of it, which starts at noon on Saturday and will go on into the evening. There's the APAC, which technically starts, I think, on Friday evening for me, and then EMEA on Sunday morn. It's going to be a huge weekend. So if you're tuned into the Null Signal Games Twitch or YouTube channel, it'll be on like all time. I totally missed it was Games Done Quick this last week, but it's going to be like Games Done Quick. Just going to be a constant stream. The top cut, mind you, is much later. I don't know how I'll participate in the top cut because it starts at a time at like 2:30 in the morning for North America, which is just not the year for North America. I don't think that will stop some people from playing into it, but yeah, check out this weekend. It's going on. Whether you're playing, best of luck. Hopefully you figured something out. And I'm excited to watch it. I think it's gonna be really good. Or how many people are playing in it? Oh, also you can only participate in one of those. I swear if any of y'all are thinking of coming over to APAC to Sharker slots, I think people will. I think the APAC time zone is actually not terrible. Because 9 AWST, that starts at like, I want to say 7 in the evening, maybe? 8 p.m. in the evening, which means if that goes 6 hours, right? Like you're done at 2 in the morning. That's like totally doable. I know there's people who are playing in my time zone that are going to play that time zone. Even if you're like on the West Coast, like that's 5 p.m. on a Friday. That's totally fine. Super, super fine. So this is weird because it's the first time they've done it like this, where it's like the top 5 from each, and then the reigning circuit breaker, so Tuno, I believe, will be playing in the top 16. So people might try and shark APAC, I think, because 5, like there's gonna be a lot of people playing each round. Top 5 is very, very, very difficult. I'm playing America time zone. Yo, let's go, Cold Lava. David, how's it going? Howdy. I imagine the West Coast peeps are going to show up on mass. Yes, I think so. I don't know which one it's going to be the easiest to get through. But like cut to top 5 from what easily can be like an 80-person tournament is like pretty cursed. So I don't think people are going to ID as much, which is kind of fascinating. 8 p.m. ET on January 18th is 3 p.m. HT. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's for your time zone. That's a good time zone for you. Oh, okay. Let's go build some weird Netrunner. We've been streaming for about an hour and 15. I'm kidding. Do you want to do a tangent and just talk about spoilers for Arkham? There's no way I can afford to do that. Okay. This is something I want to do. I'm playing and will shoot not to cut because of the time zone issue. Definitely will be intentional. For what it's worth, I think there's going to be a bunch of people that potentially could make the cut and will drop. So I think it's likely that like top 6, top 7 might even make the cut, depending specifically if you're in North America. That being said, sometimes winning the top 5 like lights that fire underneath you, which is like, I'm going to have a really weird sleep schedule and start gaming at 2:30 in the morning. APAC is 8 p.m. for us in Montreal. Just saying, no, I know it's not bad at all, Dajan. It's really not bad. Yeah. It's even easier if you're on the West Coast. Are you playing in any of them, Dajan? I think you told me you were. I forget. So apologies. I know we talked about this. I think we talked about this. All right, we're going to build something weird. Last Tuesday, we had a really great time playing Sports Metal Fast Events. Now, there's a chance that this is not going to be anywhere near as good or as exciting as that, but we're going to do some testing for sure. And the big thing here is it's MirrorMorph, and MirrorMorph has a lot of text on it. It says, if click 1, 2, and 3 are doing 3 different things, you can either spend a click doing something you haven't done, or you can gain a credit. Now, there's a lot of weird ways we've seen MirrorMorph be relevant. Some of those decks, you could argue MirrorMorph wasn't exactly necessary, but I want to do some sort of lines that are only possible with MirrorMorph. And those are largely around fast advancing. I don't know how many people have explored this space, but the idea is specifically with anything that spends a click to give you any amount of fast advance, you can start doing strange things. So let's talk about some basic ideas of ways that we can fast advance. And I'm pretty sure we're going to discover new ways to do fast advance that people are not expecting. So one of the big ones is Holloman, right? So if you install Holloman, and this is the problem we're going to run into because I'm immediately going to highlight an issue that doesn't work. Say click 1, we install Holloman. Click 2, we advance with Holloman by using its ability. And then click 3, we advance with the basic action. That unfortunately means click 4, we can't advance again. So that only gives us 3 advancements, which means we technically can fast advance with Holloman in hand and gain a credit back, but that's not actually any different. So you technically need to spend, like you need to do something weirder. My guess is you need to play an operation. So if we restore the Holloman, that puts the Holloman on the table. Click 2, we use the Holloman, maybe we'd install the agenda from hand. Click 3, we use the Holloman to put 3 advancement counters. And then click 4, we can use MirrorMorph to put the final advancement. And that means with restore and a restore and an agenda in hand, we can actually fast advance a 4-2. You see what I mean? Like this is where it gets really, really tricky. Greasing or RLC to install? Yes, but you can't RLC an agenda unless you get a click back. FA MirrorMorph, RLC Bass. Yeah, Bass is the other one that I think is super interesting because if you spend click 1 to fire the Bass, click 2 to install the agenda. This is where it gets weird. And then click 3, you probably have to play like an operation. And so you do get good things like subliminal messaging or RLC that give you a clickless click. That means you get a click back and then you technically have 3 clicks left, I think. 4 clicks. You just need to include RLC or subliminal. Then you get a click after the MirrorMorph trigger to advance against. Yes, yeah. As soon as you play like an operation during that, you can get to that 4-2. You also do just have the constant like successive MC austerity policy. And with MirrorMorph, MC austerity policy is incredibly aggressive because click 1, you austerity, click 2, you fire the austerity, click 3, you install the agenda, free click, you advance, and then you still have a couple clicks left over. You can fast advance 5-3s. And I even think 5-3s, you can fast advance a bit faster. Cool FA with operations is sudden commandment, subliminal or greasing. Yes. Now we did that when we played Sports Metal. Francesco, how's it going, by the way? It's going to be a bit harder to do in a MirrorMorph because, well, technically you haven't played 2 operations for 2 actions, so you can get away with it. Eager to give key performance indicators to go as an advancement option. Hey, Gorfax, yeah, key KPIs is actually very interesting in MirrorMorph. Now, I don't think KPIs does too much for click compression when it comes to agendas. I actually don't even know the text of KPIs. Oh, it's not up, so yeah, KPI could do something. When local players using Helheim servers to set up agendas and archives for these plays. Oh, that's cool. I know I played Cohort before to be able to restore agendas. Helheim is weird because you don't know if they're going to run or not. But I played this specifically, which I think is just a fun card and also helps you fast advance. Holloman plus Audacity is a sick way to FA a 5-3 for surprisingly few credits. Yeah, that's really cool. So you can install the 5-3, install the Hol. No, that doesn't work. You have to pre-install one of them. Maybe you have to restore. There's also really strange things you can do with like Ronin Holloman to like do massive damage out of nowhere, but I don't know. Damage seems a bit better than it's been in a while. But we'll figure this out. Okay, hold on. Catching on chat. Let's go. So we're trying to build it. KPI is technically not standard legal until done. Exactly, yeah. It's not legal at all. We only have it as like a fun little artifact. I don't even think it's implemented on RJNet. Just business as usual is an advancement for an operation. Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. It is an advancement. Technically, you can do on 2 installed cards, which is probably useless, but it's an advancement on a card for 0. I would say that subliminal messaging is probably more flexible because subliminal messaging is very similar. But you can always do this because we need enough operations in the deck. That's usually the problem I have with MirrorMorph is the deck just doesn't have enough operations, but you need enough operations for the deck to fire. Nobody just plays out of Epiphany. It's really hard in Epiphany. Like I played Restore. Every Epiphany deck I played is Restore Epiphany, and it's unfortunately it's okay. It's Epiphany. Why is this card Grey Ops? Because someone's dead. People, how's it going? What's it even called again? Business? It's because it's they're cleaning up after a murder. So it's like not Call of Duty Black Ops, it's Call of Duty Grey Ops, where it's like they skirt around the issue. BAU also clears virus counters off of something at threat 3. Oh, someone said, yeah, this person's not napping. They've been shot. Yeah, this text, I've used this text before and it's like kind of fun. In the modern meta, this text is relevant. Do you think MirrorMorph generally wants to run basically even numbers of ops and installables? No, my guess is not even numbers because you need assets, you need ice. You probably will just have more installables than anything else. But that's because most decks do. Is there a mechanical thing that connects Grey Ops? Mechanical, I would say no. Thematic, yes, highly. Which are the things that corporations are like, they're like slightly evil. They're not super evil. They're just like kind of evil. But I don't think mechanically they all have a tie-in like AP or a Destroyer does. The glass ain't broken, so they were killed by someone in the room. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I don't think there's any. They were definitely not shot through the window. They were definitely just like removed from on their chair. Yeah. It's a good shot though. Mesty and Charlotte are good in MM to provide more ID options. Could make the second advancement from business as usual good, even though that's stretching influence. Yeah, my guess is like making Mess and Chesto better in your deck that you're spending influence on is probably not what we want to do. I think I've seen people play Charlotte, but they're playing like value MirrorMorph, and even that, like, I don't know if that makes that much sense. Like, for what it's worth, Charlotte's fine, but Charlotte's only really good when the advancement is like clickless is one thing, but like creditless is another thing. Technically with MirrorMorph, you can make it creditless by clicking for a credit, but like Charlotte Lacosta is pretty good. Charlotte with BTL is really good. Those feel different to me, but I'm not even convinced BTL Charlotte's the best thing you could do. Deanimated. Sent to spawn. Still lamenting that BAU is a micro purge to nuke Fizerum. Oh, isn't? Yeah, it just removes counters. Clearly we need to have a reverse account on the table to get the extra advancement. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like you can argue so many things could use advancements. So let's get together the cards that we think are necessary for the deck. So we'll play Luminal. Oh no! Actually, what's the agenda suite? That's gonna be a problem. Like we can fast advance off World Office. I don't know what else we want to advance. Like Elevigao, you can pretty... No, install advance doesn't work. Part of me wants to play more Stegodon, but that part of me is like repressed by the other part of me that's publicly facing. Like, I don't know what else we play. Like Midnight 3 gives us some options, which is kind of fun. We'll have more cards in hand, so it's more to do 3 in a row. I think Ikoa we actually can fast advance, but I'm not too excited about scoring an Ikoa. So maybe it's just like ADTs, which are good. Bifurcation lets you blast Gatekeeper and Ablative, which I've been happy with. Yeah, it's definitely good. Like for me, I'll be honest, I'm happy de-resing my Spin Doctor. It's just like it doesn't really work with our game plan. It also makes their agenda density a bit messed up, but we had a great time with Elvigao last week. ADT somehow score, install an agenda and score that one. It's hard. ADT works with Holloman. Oh, that's sick. That is really, really cool. Yeah, let's try something like this. Okay. So let's just work on the operations first to see what we want to get in here because we have great options. So Biotic Labor is also very, very good in a deck like this, as long as you can afford it. Because if you do Biotic Labor, oh no, why do I always get this wrong? If you do Biotic Labor, install advance, you just get a credit back. How do you make that play? How do you make Biotic Labor better in MirrorMorph? You have to do like Biotic Labor, Bast, Chiraboga install. Is Stegodon just the Mammoth tank from Command and Conquer? It's been a while since I've seen Command and Conquer. Biotic is basically 2 clicks a lot of the time because it counts as your op click and also gives you its own click. Yeah, but the thing is like MirrorMorph's click only matters if you do something good with the click, right? Like if you just do Biotic, install agenda, advance, the MirrorMorph click is just a credit, which is just basically saying Biotic Labor costs 1 less. Watching 30 minutes late in the VOD trying to participate in the chat. Yeah, that happens. Actually, how's it going? Right, like it's not good unless you can get the free advancement. The thing we want to do with MirrorMorph is always get the free advancement, which means we'd have to do like Biotic Labor, MC Austerity, something like that. I think we'll play 1 to have it, but it's really hard just to use Biotic Labor to score out. Why is the streamer not answering my message? You know what you did. Seamless Launch is interesting. We'll keep 1. We might cut it because we're trying to fast advance and it doesn't really work. Bad. I think Restore is actually really good. It can install cards like Holloman from Archives. That's pretty sick. It's also an operation on an install clause. That's nice too. Biotic install Hollow works if you're very rich. Yes, if we're very rich, that's fine. We'll play some of those. I think we're going to play Spin Doctors. Stop offering me Luminal. We'll play 2 Hollomans at a minimum. I think it's the most powerful card in our deck. We need to make sure we have more money because it's very expensive. Red level clearance is really, really good because it gives you a click. I think greasing is fantastic because it installs, giving you money and is an operation. So you can do greasing, install Holloman, use Holloman, get an advancement. Get an Holloman, I think. Realize this is a non-bo the ID, but Wage Breakers provides another avenue. Yeah, I think the last time I played MirrorMorph, I also put Wage Breakers in it to be like, this is our backup plan, and it was honestly good, but I hate that idea. Like, it just sucks that that's the case. Is the guy who did the art brief for Stegodon no comment on the Command and Conquer question. Nice. I think we play Subliminal. I don't know what else we play. There must be other click compressions. Put in tag support to make greasing a powerhouse. I don't think we have the ability to do that. Like, I don't know what we would do. I don't want to oppo someone out of nowhere. It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. You can do some tag, yeah, but I just don't want to play oppo my MirrorMorph deck. It just like, again, I know this has come up before, but I don't want to. I want to do open decklist Netrunner, and someone getting cheesed by an oppo. It's just like, I don't think I learned anything. MC3 Yodel, bro. We might do it. The thing is, like, as soon as you Yodel, you're not fast advancing that turn, so I don't know why you'd MirrorMorph. Wageburgers works with RLC Bass to score a 5-3. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay, hold on. So we'll do Bass. I don't know, 2 of them. Is there any way that we still, like with the other one, want to play Work Crew? Because Work Crew means that we can play an operation which installs a card, then we can advance, but then we don't have another action to do. If they know the oppo's in the deck, it's now asset protection, right? Sort of? Not really. I don't think it'll impact how they play. Just play the Taguar? I don't want to spend 4 credits for Taguar. We love Drafter in this deck. We really do. We get operations back. We have way too many operations. This deck is salad. We'll figure it out. What else do we want in here? NGO Front is also kind of okay because the first advancement on NGO Front is the good advancement. But we should look at the HP cards. So we'll play 2 copies of Bass. We'll play all the MC Austerities. And now we need to play like 10 Ice. Gyro, I was considering Night Dancer. Like, I don't even want to pretend I wasn't considering Night Dancer. We'll put a single NGO Front for the lull. Just declare to your Jaina opponents at the start. Imagine you start your HP game on Jaina casual saying, by the way, there's oppos in this. Like, I have no idea how to use that information. Like, should I listen to you? Okay. Ablative Barrier is worth considering. I'll play at least 1 Brawn. I do not know how much crew there is. The deck list of the week eats bronze, so I don't want to play too many bronze. I think I also saw that on the runner decks that Off 15 and Torpedo were playing, or sorry, the Corp decks. They were just like, we're going to play 1 Brawn just because Devil Charm crew is around, and you don't want to res a 6 coster. Eli is fine. Gatekeeper is obviously good. It's Gatekeeper. I like Hagen a lot in the modern meta. I think it's very good. There's a lot of this not happening. Runner concedes. Leaves game. What else do we want? Magna looks really good right now. We probably should have some upgrades. I don't know if there's any upgrades that interact with MirrorMorph in any way that makes sense. Oh, no, there is. There's like that cold site server thing. What else do we want? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ice. Yeah, we probably need a bit more ice. What are we missing? So we still have 6 influence. There must be some way that's really inspired to use influence. There must be a very inspired way to use influence. Next diamond, I don't think we care about most of those subroutines. It's like 2 core, yeah. If no Night Dancer, but how about tier? I mean, we're never going to afford this. Arella, yeah, Arella is interesting. The issue is I don't think we can use Arella. Like, Arella has been the most fun. It's just like literally been the best card we played recently. But I don't know how we use Arella. Maybe with MC Austerity we can. Amani? Okay, let's do test draw. Let's cut, I guess, a Seamless. I'm worried we don't have enough money. It's very likely we don't have enough money. Oh, yeah, Audacity's sick. Yeah, Audacity's really, really good shout. How do we get more money in this? This is our opening hand. We would cry, and then we'd hit the mulligan button, and then we'd be happy with this. We'll draw an ice. Nice. We'd probably just do classic. Regolith? Yeah, but I don't want to hit I think nano etching might be better, Thanos, yeah. Because I don't want to hit the Regolith, like, I don't want to empty the Regolith. Because it doesn't work with our ability. I think we'd be better off playing like 2 nano etchings and just hitting that button every turn. Nobody trashes nano etching. They see it and they read the text and they're like, there's no way I'm giving you 2 credits, which like, that's not right. I wonder here if we would greasing to get a credit. So we can do greasing, whatever, Rashida, Gatekeeper, gain a credit. That's fine. Prototype. Oh, Prototype's not bad. Yeah, Prototype is like kind of like Regolith. I forgot about that guy. Man, I don't even consider that card. I trash nano etching whenever I see it. Me too. I think people should. I just don't think people do. I like the NGO front. Spicy. Nano etching. 2 influence for Charlotte. Yeah, I think Charlotte's like super comparable to NGO. It's very comparable to NGO. Oh yeah, we probably should play him a virus. Yeah, I think that is a meta consideration that I probably won't ignore that in the modern moment. Was simulating draws versus account 7 decks or nah? It depends. I think when we simulate the draw, we say what we're playing into. So for that, I was just like playing against Hoshiko. But yeah, I when I simulate draws, I'd be like, we're playing against Criminal. What do we do? And then you actually have to ice up HQ. So my guess is, this looks like a bit of a salad, but we have a bit of options. We have a bit of options. I think it falls into the category of cards that you think are bad because you never see them, so you assume it's fine to let the corp have them. Yes. So here, if we're playing against Criminal, we would just like put Gatekeeper on HQ. We wouldn't fire our ability this turn. We'd draw Gatekeeper on HQ, and then we'd probably just click for credit to get a second credit. Oh, if that was the case, yeah, that's fine. 1, 2. There's no way to fire our ability. No, then we would do Nano Etching, use Nano Etching, Gatekeeper on HQ, I think. And we wouldn't have drawn. Then we would have this. We would start, I think with Spin Doctor. Yeah, we don't have enough ice. Charlotte is MirrorMorph friendly. I'm just not excited about it. I think like Rashida or Nano Etching does mostly of what it wants to do. Because we have to protect Charlotte. We don't often have to protect Nano Etching, but we have to protect Charlotte. And like, if we're protecting Charlotte, how do we protect our austerity? Like, I think that's the issue with Charlotte. She's not going to go anywhere. Like NGO friend, like they still have to run it. But Charlotte, you have to protect. If you spend a click and a credit just to get Charlotte to fire once, it's not doing anything. I'll take this hand. We do Greasing Hagen. I put the Braun on HQ just to bluff. We would not fire our ability this turn. We can play this hand. This hand's okay. We don't have defensive upgrades, which I don't like. Tattoo Bola. Oh, I do like Tattoo Bola a lot. Tattoo Bola is a good card. I just don't know how we would make the influence work. Like, we could cut an Audacity for... We already have too many cards. But I like Tattoo Bola a fair bit. I think it's just such a good card, modernly. It is exactly what we want for economy. Like, maybe we just play Pop-Up Window. I'm only half joking. I'm down to play Pop-Up Window. Yeah, Tattoo Bola is really good. I wonder if we have to play a big code gate as well. I just don't think we can afford it. Did we just make a bad Asa deck? The closer and closer we're getting to making an Asa deck. It's like we got our Holomans. we got our Holomans. We got our Tattoo Bola. We got our Agenda Suite. Let's just play some good old Asa. Like, would this be better? Got space for powers? No. Well, sort of. Technically, yeah. I just think we're going to score like 2 agendas and the game's over. The thing is, like, we're bad at installing cards. What's the one that helps us install cards? Because this is the issue. On most turns, we want to install 2 cards, and MirrorMorph is really bad at installing 2 cards. The only way around it is to play this card, which costs like 2 to res. And this card does play around it. But that's like fundamentally the issue. Whoa, shit, wait, is this good? Install Vapor Frame. Install Holoman. Use Holoman Advance. Wait, is this actually what we need? Because we're so dependent on operations, because we need our operations to install cards. You have 6 operations that let you install a second card? Yes. But you need 1 every like 2 turns. I don't think that's enough. Vapor Frame costs 2, move on. You're not wrong. The cost of this is why it's terrible. It ignores all costs though. Like, that's fun. I could try this. I've never played this before. Tank, how's it going, by the way? Okay, hold on. We've definitely fallen off the rails a bit. So how do we get this good? We probably cut this. There's a byroad one that works off of operations that install. Yes, it installs a card after you play an operation. The issue is like our operations are good at installing cards, so it's not super necessary. It's Work Crew. We played it in our last, not that one. We played it last week. It's really good. If we use the ignore all costs, how are we doing something better than Jinja? Well, we don't expose the ice, and it doesn't have to install ice. It can install anything. Like, I'm not an Jinja enjoyer, but it just does something different. Runner turn, install to keep Hollow happy if they trash Vapor. Yeah, you could do some cool stuff. Yeah, Vapor Frame counts as a different action. Yeah, these are very important. This is not an install action. This is a Vapor Frame action. So if you do like Vapor Frame Nano Etching, you've done none of the basic actions. You can even use Vapor Frame to install the Nano Etching. Let's try this. Honestly, let's try this. I don't think this is great, but we'll try it. So we have to cut 3 cards, and we have 1 influence. I do not know. Let's cut the Biotic Labor. It's too expensive. So greasing is still very good early. Hedge funds early. Red RLC restore is great. Subliminal is great. We have to cut 2 cards. We're at only 8, 9, 10, 11 ice. We have 15 assets, so we're slightly asset spam. Sad Calvin Bailey getting left out of the MirrorMorph party. You'd want to play all of them. This one's fine too. Cut 1 Bass, same logic as Biotic. It's cheaper though. The thing is, like, Biotic is actually harder to use in MirrorMorph than Bass is. Because Bass you can install. Maybe not actually. Do we need to restore? I don't know. Probably not, SOX. How's it going? It's good to restore Holloman, but maybe we don't need to. I would love to try and play all of them and see what happens. Calvin might legit be fine in some YDL versions. Yes. Yeah, I think Calvin's actually okay. Calvin being so cheap is really, really good. And Dre, how's it going? Like, it's no surprise that Calvin, well, honestly, doesn't see any play. It's 1 influence. Like, this card could see play in asset spam decks. Then we have Nano Etching, which also costs nothing. And then we have Vapor Frame, which costs a lot more than nothing for some reason. But I think this one came out way later. This is card... Oh, no, it didn't. Wait, hold on. This is card 33. This is card, like, 34. And then this is card 100. So this was 2 sets, like, 2 parts of Ashes. Andrea, do you have any ideas what to cut? Maybe we cut the Subliminal? Need 3 MCA? I think so. I think it's a really good card. It's like very easy to fire this every single turn, and it's annoying for the runner. Hold on, we'll cut one of these. I'm starting to like this. Hold up, how are we playing an FA deck without 3x Vitruvius? Oh, shit. Good. I honestly don't know. Wait, that's way better. Bass Brazar was thinking FA a 4-2 in MirrorMorph, which is why it's better than the Biotic. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we cut the Biotic. I wonder if Bassage is actually worth keeping. We're trying to play Vapor Frame, Nano Etching, Bass, but we're trying to play all of them. Sorry, Vapor Frame, Bailey, Nano Etching. None of these cards are unique, right? Oh, Calvin's unique. Only Calvin's unique. That's fine. You don't need 2 Calvins. I actually think Calvin probably should be like this. With 3 Rashida, you could cut a Calvin too. Yeah, I'm going to cut a Calvin. So my guess is we cut the Subliminal, but then we only have 11 operations. So we have to cut something. Drop a Greasing. Greasing is like really good early money, and it's an install. This is the only operation that can install an agenda. I value that. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what's good. There's a chance we drop a hedge fund, I'll be honest. Like, this is cursed, but there's a chance we drop a hedge fund. Our ice is relatively cheap. That feels bad. Cut the Magnet. A Magnet's really good right now. It's really, really good. A lot of people are on Botulus. I've been meaning to build a MirrorMorph deck, so this is like paying someone to do your homework but keeping the money. Yeah, but like, how good do they do your homework, right? I dropped Hedge over Greasing, me too. I feel like there's way too many assets. I think there's going to be way too many assets, Jai, because we can only install 1 asset a turn. But I also want to try these assets and see how it goes. I think it's very likely we have way too many assets, and assets don't work well with MirrorMorph unless we have Vapor Frame. Because Vapor Frame is the only way that we can install assets. Which is another reason why I like a Greasing more. We'll try this, but I'm pretty sure we have way too many assets. I don't think that's a ridiculous sentence. I think there's a chance we should have fewer assets, more operations. What we're going to try to do is test how bad Vapor Frame is, and then eventually we'll cut Vapor Frame, and it's just like taking the weights off. We'll just be so much more powerful in a bit. But I agree with you. I feel like this is messed up. I just am more incentivized to play the cards we haven't played before. Calvin, possibly the worst of the MM assets, is getting a free card draw turn is already kind of easy. Ah, shit, you're right. Actually, yeah, you're very right. It's very easy to draw once. You don't often need to draw twice. And then you end up in the same issue where that if you draw... Yeah, okay, I'm good for that, Bob. I played Calvin before. Yeah, I think the thing about Calvin is that it allows you to asset spam, but you don't really need asset spam in MirrorMorph. Oh, we have 1 influence. Oof. Play Daily Business Show or something? I don't know. A business as usual? Yeah, let's try a BAU. Cut a hedge fund. So we can Vapor Frame. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Mamafa. This is definitely a deck. Let's do import. Hansei, maybe to set up restores as well. I haven't considered that. BA should replace Subliminal. Yeah, Subliminal can fire though. Like Subliminal is just a busted. There's a chance we should play more Subliminal. Admittedly, because we're assets, it's not that good in MirrorMorph, but Subliminal firing more than once in MirrorMorph is like messed up because it's like a free 2 clicks, right? Like I think Subliminal and MirrorMorph is like could be a 2 of as long as you're playing Glacier. It is that good. But I hear you that it's the same slot on a fast advance turn. It's just like there's so many turns where you can do install like advanced credit, or sorry, install advanced Subliminal, have 2 actions, and then just do whatever you want. A MirrorMorph, capital M's. Yeah, maybe pop-up is fine actually. I don't mind pop-up. We'll try this. We'll see like what our combo pieces are. Like right now we're trying to evaluate our combo pieces in a weird, I wouldn't say vacuum, because some of the pieces supporting the combo pieces aren't there, but we're going to learn something, which is all I want to do on a Tuesday afternoon. Hey, it's Omni Shambles. BA could be the powers that be. I am worried that we're going to not score points, I'll be honest. Like powers that be is what you add to a functional deck to make it more functional. Hoshiko, 50 cards. Okay, we have no MirrorMorph this turn. Thanks, you too. Pretty sure we're going to lose the Iqua early. This hand's fine though. Early draft is no good. No sudden commandment this time. I don't know. Maybe that's worth liberating some influence for. It's a very good card. Okay, so we have to think about MirrorMorph. It's likely we have to install 2 cards this turn, so we can't. So I think we just do Rashida Drafter credit. There's no way to get Rashida and Drafter on the table. Yeah. We have MirrorMorph if we click MCA. Yeah, but like the Drafter's really bad here too. Like I would love to play an operation just so the Drafter does something. So maybe we'll put the MCA on the table so that we already have it install. If our opponent checks the MCA first, the Drafter does something. This makes it easier to steal the Iqua, but whatever. Early Paladin. Oh, my experience with fast advance MirrorMorph is that you lose off R&D, so sticking a pop-up window there. Yeah. This Drafter doesn't do anything. I think we don't res this Drafter. Oh, I hate this Drafter. Maybe we should have mulliganed this hand. I didn't realize how bad Drafter is on turn 1. That's okay. At least we have a Rashida in the bin. Yeah, I don't mind pop-up window. So they ran it in the good order. Good for them. They're going to have 2 credits next turn, maybe, if they click for credit here. Like, we can install advance the Iqua. We won't financially recover from that. Can't steal the Iqua. Nice. So they assume that this is a 6-coster. They saw a Drafter in hand. What's the chance we have 2 Drafters? Uh-oh. Draw? Okay. Take his ass. Like, we could restore... I think we restore the Rashida. We could restore the MC Austerity and click for credit. That's probably better. So now if they go through the Drafter, we get the Restore back and the Rashida back. That's actually kind of fine. Yeah, I was going to consider restoring the Rashida, but this actually makes the Drafter more potent. And now we can score out the off-world from hand in 2 turns, which is more important for us, I think. If it's a Rashida, I think they would just run it back, but they can't really run back the Austerity for 3. That's a problem. Cookbook, okay. So it's mulch. That's going to be a huge issue for us. So we just hold 3 agendas in hand, but we're going to be cool about it. We're going to be really cool about it. They know that's a Drafter. We fired MirrorMorph on 2 turns so far. If this survives, we can score out the off-world. We can even score the Vitruvius with the token, which against viruses might be more impactful. Don't look at our hand. Please ignore the hand. How do I put my camera on top of the hand? Okay, that's better. Our hand's pretty good, actually. It's like a guy. Gonna get MirrorMorph another time this turn, and we can jam the Vitruvius after it. It's gonna be hella sick. We're gonna be on 4 points on turn 4. Turn 4. Fuck. Please steal the Iqua. Touch the Iqua. Touch the Iqua. Touch the Iqua. Don't touch the off-world office. No! That's so bad for us. Should have kept the camera there. All right. Like one of those MOBA streamers now covering the minimap with the camera. Like, we can get a lot of counters. The issue is, what did we do last click? I think we just get 2 counters and say, whatever, we're going to lose now. But if we had the off-world office there, we were cooking. Like, we would be +7 and push the Vitruvius. That is such a huge. Play Subliminal. No, we've already mirror morphed, and I don't want to make the Iqua of 100. Put the Rashida in. They have Banhar, and we have 2 credits. I don't think we can. Jason, how's it going, by the way? Like, we need to threaten to res 2 ice, otherwise we're just going to lose the Rashida. Oh, that's fun. I'm glad we have a Vitruvius. The fuck? What is going on? Okay. And neat. All right, so I think we always draw, right? This is going to fire eventually. We have Vitruvius. We don't really care. It's another reason not to play Subliminal. But they're going to run every single turn, unless they don't because of Hosh. So we can just do draw, credit, install. It's not very good. We need 6 credits here. So we might need to, there's a theory. We could consider restoring the austerity. That's most of our money. We can burst up to double drafter credits with Subliminal. Yeah, but I don't know what we're putting behind it. Like, I don't want to push the Iqua. Like, we do credit Subliminal. Maybe we do. Fine. I don't love it. This is where, like, you need the Bailey where you're low on cards. This remote's kind of cursed. It's, once you get a Spin Doctor, it's a bit better because we don't have defensive upgrades, but it's not terrible. Oh, shit. It's the Nihilist. Oh, shit. It's a Heliamphora. We're going to lose our Subliminal forever. No! That's really bad. I wonder if we should preemptively pull our Subliminal. Yeah, this is why I don't like playing Subliminal, because then they run. I'm not using Vitruvius. I can't think that far in the future. Nah, it's all good. I wonder if they're going to grab the Restore. I refuse to believe the Paul's Cafe Hoshiko decks plays Pinhole. I do too. They also don't have money. Yeah, they pull Subliminal. Okay, that tracks. All right, draw. Install server 1. I think we're going to ice HQ. Oh, no. I think we just do credit. I forgot where MirrorMorph. We fired MirrorMorph. I think we only missed 2 turns. No, maybe only we missed the first turn. I think we fired MirrorMorph every turn. Nihilist, I'll trash. We lost the nano etching. That's a good thing about putting bad cards in your deck. You don't care about things like Nihilist. Botchels on Palos Cafe seems good. They have 2 unique connections. So this Botchels comes out for 1 credit. This thing has a lot of text on it. And the fact that we get a Rashida into a time bomb is really, really good. If it lands. Looks like it lands. So here we should be able to, I wouldn't say fast advance, but do something good. You want to rip our whole damn hand? Okay, this is a problem because we're not going to get our ability this turn. This is where you would love a greasing. If we had a greasing in this hand, we'd be goated or RLC. I wonder if we should Vitruvius into a greasing thinking. So we Vitruvius into a greasing. We can greasing austerity, res austerity, use austerity. They have 3 clicks. He rips the top off of a time bomb. We can discard a couple cards for sure. It's probably better just to jam the agenda than the austerity, let's be honest. So we probably still could consider using the greasing. The Vitruvius counter seems very useful, but I think we would do Vitruvius into greasing the off-world, advance the off-world. I don't think we go for the austerity. I think we just go for the win. Like, we have Audacity in hand and an off-world office. Like, I don't think we need to do the MCA austerity for a couple turns. Unless we do. Yeah, I think we grease the off-world here and just push. If we grease austerity, that's the problem. It's like we grease the austerity, we res the austerity, then we install an agenda. Oh, that's not bad. Can we jam the Iqua though? Yeah, I just don't want to install the Iqua. Like, I want to get more money. FA the off later. Maybe I just can't see ourselves spending 5 credits on the Iqua here. Like, we have 3 good options. Austerity is interesting. Greasing austerity, use austerity. He has 3 clicks. We have to time bomb. That's fine. I just want to get this off their hand because right now he can't steal the Iqua and Iqua in HQ is safe. I think that's the reason I want to keep the Iqua. Okay, whatever. We'll use one of these. I wish we drew into an RLC or something. Oh, we also like install Iqua, remove from game Iqua with restore. That's a fun line. They can run the remote server. Yeah, you're right. They can. But will they? Botchless is 1 credit. Botchless is 1 credit, right? Yeah. And then no, this is a drafter. Okay, whatever. We'll do this. I just don't know how we score this now. I think we do ablative on archives. I'm pretty sure they're gonna play like Chistushka or something. I don't know about that turn. That's probably not perfect. Top 3 cards of R&D. YOLO swag. Oops, all yellow. Time bomb Paula's. Yeah. Well, they need to make a successful run, so it doesn't actually do anything. I'm pretty sure we could have pushed the off-world here. There's no way that he's running. Now he has money, maybe. He did put Benhorns here for 1. So he can get in here and steal the Iqua. That's pretty bad for us. Maybe austerity was right. They're turning your Vitruvius into an Atlas slowly. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of correct. All right, so we have to res all of this, and he still gets this. So this will take 2 cards. We've seen 1 strike fund so far. All right, this is where if this was a magnet, we were cooking, which is why I think magnet's really good. Spin the bin's really good. Yeah, it's totally fine. I don't think they'll let this fire though. I'm assuming that they're going to botchless this for 1, which means they exactly have Iqua credits, which is a bummer. If they let this fire, it's a problem. Oh yeah, 2 subroutines. Wait, why is that? Oh, they have a cookbook. Yeah, yeah. Kat, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Yeah, that's not good. Probably should push the austerity there. They're on game point. We lose to a bad single. I think this is why the MCA was good. Yeah, maybe. For that to fire, they really needed a moshing, though. They need to get credits. So install austerity, use austerity, click for credit, I think. They have a rip on HQ if they're lucky. Yeah, how you been, Kat? Sorry, I haven't been too active in CBI testing. Hopefully your CBI testing has been okay. We've been mirror morphing every turn. Besides 1, I think. I think we missed 1 turn. Top card variety is fine. They definitely need cards. Don't. Neither have I. You're playing though, aren't you? I don't know who's playing on the group. I know the time zones are not great, and people are upset about it, but it's fine. Not upset, maybe, but disappointed. Allegedly. Leech? Oh, MU issue sick. Yeah, with this Nihilist, it doesn't do anything while we have the Vitruvius counter. It's fine. They can steal whatever best card is for Heliamphora. We can always purge and then Vitruvius, so I don't care. We lost the Hollow Man. Yeah, that makes sense. Feels like you're going to be using the Vitruvius counter for greasing repeatedly, right? Maybe. There's a chance that we'll actually use it on a combo turn. So they ran here. They can't steal Iqua. Okay. Spin is good to have on the table because it's a spin doctor. So we'll austerity install the spin doctor, click for credit, click for credit. We should be able to draw a clickless operation with Spin Doctor and then have an ability to austerity. And I don't even know, can we score 5 points? I don't think we can score 5 points. Actually, if we score Vitruvius, can we score 5 points? Feel free to stay up as late as you want. Top card of R&D is gone. It's a ablative. So austerity, we use it, crack it. So we have 5 clicks. We install. Oh, imp, that's good. They're going to go HQ. Yeah, we could lose here. Just tune back in. Okay, it's a spin doctor. We'll res it. Oh, shit. Glad they didn't run R&D there. So either they imp this and get an Audrey counter. I think we'll just use the spin doctor. They'll probably run HQ here. I'll put the spin doctor back in. It's actually good to have a spin doctor access in the bin. Maybe we won't do that. So I'll do the restore, I think. And I think the ablative. They might run HQ here. It's where they put Banhar, but they have 1 card in hand. So they could use Audrey. Not a lot of points left in the deck. Oh, that's good. That's so good. Oh, that's so disgustingly good. Wait, why is there points in there? Wait, what happened? Why is there 5 points in archive suddenly? Oh, Heliamphra has text. Why doesn't it warn you? This has text. When the core purges, they trash 2 cards from random at HQ. That could have been worse. You purged the Heliamphra? I wish I had access to the restore. Where did that restore go? Okay, whatever. That's fine. Okay. Play it off confidently. Yeah, whatever Heliamphra does. I don't know. I was so excited to purge it too. All right, so we have to do some math. Okay, count with me. We have 3 clicks, okay? So if we do red level clearance, we have another click. So we still have 3 clicks. Then we MCA, we have 2 clicks. Then I'm going to give the middle finger. Hold on, I'll work around it. Then if we MCA, then we get 4 clicks back. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we get our free advancement action. So we can install clicklessly. Advance. I think we just advance the Vitruvius. I don't know if we can combo this turn. I think we can win this turn, maybe? So we install the Vitruvius, we can get this to be really big. And then we can use Audacity to win. MM can finish off an MCA and FA 5-3. Yeah, I think that's right. I think we just need to get Vitruvius counters. If we RLC'd, we would have another click, is the difference. Is there a world in which we can do everything? I'm so bad at this math quickly. But if we RLC'd, we could have got a click. So we would actually be at 6 clicks here, I think. And then we could do advance, off-world advance. I think that's what we have to do. Now this is 3 cards back, which means we actually can Audacity twice. Why'd you pick up the 5-3 and score that? Because I think this Vitruvius gives us more safety and allows us to do double Audacity. I think. I'm pretty sure we can grab the 5-3 Audacity. Oh no. Tricky. I still think we have something. But we might have wanted to grab the 5-3. With these points in archives, if we don't get more points, we lose. You can't RLC the agenda. Yeah, I'm aware we can't RLC it. But we just RLC to get a click. Oh, hold on. Money matters though. Okay, thinking. There has to be a way to win from this board state. The problem is I don't know the math. Okay. So say we can recur the Audacity. Yes, you can. But then we'd also have to recur the RLC to get more clicks. So if we Vitruvius for the 5-3, install the 5-3, then we advance Audacity. It has 3 counters. The problem is we don't get our ability. Install Operation Advance. Fuck. Wait, how do you fast advance? We have to RLC here, but we want Audacity before we RLC. The issue is we have to play 2 operations. Oh man, keeping the restore in here would have probably been good. Subliminal? Yeah. You don't need MirrorMorph trigger? I think we do. I don't think Subliminal helps because we already have a Subliminal in hand with red level. If you put the Hallman out next turn, you can win from 6 credits. You can add Can't Audacity before RLC. Well, no, because you lose the RLC. Sorry, still thinking. I'm very bad at the math of clicks. You can use the 2 Vitruvius to get Audacity and RLC back. Yes, I just don't know if we have enough clicks. So if we install the 5-3, like I just don't think we can mirror morph. We install the 5-3. We advance the 5-3. Then we Audacity. Like, at that point, our turn is over. We have an extra credit. So maybe, yeah, if we RLC for Spin Doctor, you could offworld, yeah, we can fast advance the offworld, no problem. But we might have to, like, Vitruvius for the Spin Doctor, RLC the Spin Doctor, install the offworld. Ugh. RLC spin, install 5-3, Audacity gain the MirrorMorph click to advance. Yeah, that's only at 3 advancements. Res spin, and Vitruvius to refill hand with Audacity. But we can't play another operation. Like Gyro, you can't operate, you have to do something different with MirrorMorph. You can't play an operation with the MirrorMorph click. Like, that's the issue. Is we can't play 2 operations. You can only click for a credit or do something you haven't done. Wait, am I messing it up? The MirrorMorph clicks advance regularly? Brain melting. Melting. Hold on. I'm so bad at this. So RLC the spin. So we still have 3 clicks. Install. Yeah, I think with Holloman we'd be fine. We just don't have money. Install the Ikua. So we've installed the operation. Then we play Audacity. We gain a MirrorMorph click. And we still have a click left. So we advance. It has 2 counters. I think we can maybe do it. We haven't taken no clicks for Helion. I think I'm just going to try something. I'm not sure if we can do it. So we do install the spin. Oh my God. Install 1, 2, 3. I can get 3 advancements, no problem. So we do RLC for the Spin Doctor. Then we do install the agenda. And then we do Audacity. We have a click left and we have a free advancement. We do the free advancement. And then we have a click left. No, I think we can do it. Oh, hold on. It might be wrong. I was like pretty confident that I was right. So we RLC the 5-3. Oh man, okay. RLC the Spin Doctor and we get a click. Whatever. We're at 4 credits. We still have 3 clicks. Then we install the 5-3 and then we then we advance it. Then we can't. Oh no, we can't. We can't. Yeah, because they're 2 operations. You're 100% right. So I think we just get the Spin Doctor back and hold. I think you can put the Hollow out of Blade of on Archives and you should be able to win the next turn. Yes. It loses to Hush. Yeah. Melting. I think we just do draw and no, we just do install credit. Yeah, I think that's fine. We need money though. Maybe we're all C for clickless credit. Uh-oh. Blum's saying hang on. I can't. Our turn's been like 15 minutes. A Blade of an Archive dies to banker? No, but if you res it, we can get a Spin Doctor back. It means R&D is a problem. RLC Hollow, install ablative, click for 1 credit, MMC. Yeah. Yeah, I think we do. I just don't like, I want the hand padding. The thing is also they know this is a non-agenda, so no, we shouldn't. Oh my God. I don't want them to know. I want them to think this is an agenda. So I'm going to gain a 2 credits and a click. We'll use the click to install the Holloman. No, then we don't get the click. So if we install Holloman, we need money. Install ablative. I guess we have to. RLC the ablative. Yeah, that's way easier. It's just a 1 and 3 on HQ, and I don't like that. Perfect, flawless. We can always pad our hand with Vitruvius, though. I think you could use the Vitruvius counter to get more money, but like picking up greasing, but sequencing. Yes, I think the sequencing is scuffed. I think with Vitruvius counters here, we have the ability to score with Holloman, almost regardless of credits, because of RLC spam. We got there. I mean, kind of, sort of. HQ is the pressure. So like we still have issues here. But it looks like our remote will hold. I'm so sorry for our opponent. Not much to do here. We're gonna cycle an imp. Yeah. Lost a Vapor Frame Fabricator. This thing's holding the damn forward down. 3-player, have to play MirrorMorph. Each person takes a click without letting the other know what the plan is. I would be totally fine with that. They can win here. It's unlikely though. I think we have it, but I still have to figure out what the plan is. This has to be the game. There's no way this is not the game, right? I wish we had access to a restore, but we don't. Oh my god, I still have to think out this turn. I thought it would be so easy. Okay, so all we do is we have to pull back the Ikua. We install the Ikua. We Hollow Min. We Audacity. We advance. Easy. Easy. This is 4, 5, 6. There's no way I'll have to redo this turn. It's impossible. Just built different. Just figured it out. Counted to 5. GG. Sorry about the tank turn. Think I was just a bit short on credits. It might have been possible. Like, I'm going to look at the replay. It might have been possible in the last turn, but it would be like spamming RLC. The problem with MirrorMorph is that like it's only the first 3 clicks. You can't do it like click 3, 4, 5 being different. Yeah, it's I'm trying to figure out the lines. I think shuffling back the restore was a huge mistake. I think like keeping your toolbox options and archives is really good against a deck like this. Hitting them a virus is super fortunate. You should reset the slate to see if 5 credits was worth it. Wait, what do you mean? We did. Oh yeah, I got pushing 2 huge Vitruviuses. Yeah, our Vitruviuses were really, really good into what this deck wants to do. Where it's like, we don't care about the Nihilist, it makes us more powerful. Chat was joking, you were making the Vitruviuses into Atlases. I think it's a very funny joke. I think the problem with the last turn was we were locked into using the Hollow Min click as one of the first 4 clicks, and that breaks the blank. Yes. Yeah, we could have maybe, like if you grease out the Hollow Min, maybe you can start to afford it. Like there's still a chance it was possible. Hey, cheers. You're very nice. Hey, thanks. Thanks, you too. Our remote server was so bad, but the ice was good. Like the ice in theory was good. Ablative is really good. I think Magna is actually definitely worth playing in the modern meta. We can use this as a Netrunner puzzle. All right, I've learned nothing besides my brain hurts. And that game was like 12 turns in 40 minutes somehow. But we'll give it another rep. It'll only get easier. Like, remember the first time we played Sports Metal? We're like, why? And then like our 4th game, we're like, score 4, score 4. Dow, okay. Dow can be frustrating because Dow is definitely a bit of a snowball. I'm assuming it's Hermes. This hand is sick. It has everything we want to test. Vapor Frame, Nano Etching. Gatekeeper will end up on R&D and we'll cry, but not much we can do about it. Hey, thanks, you too. I think Dow Hermes is like just such a snowball of a deck. I find it a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. I think we're going to use the Vapor Frame on turn 1. Uh-oh. Arella would genuinely be sick. I honestly don't think we can use Arella that well. Right? Like generally we score out. We're cooked. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to do Vapor Frame, use Vapor Frame to stall Nano Etching. I'm going to use Nano Etching, and then we'll just click from crash. The whole gang's here. Oh, my economy. Don't worry. I've never used this card. I'll install a card in a new server. Look. Draw last click would be so funny. Look at us. Our board state is slightly better than on the first turn, and we have 6 credits. And if they trash any of these, we win. Skunkworks can make the architect for run endy. Yeah, I do think we could use a defensive upgrade just so that like our install clauses get a bit better. We made a credit, yeah, but look at this board state. They can't trash these. These have text. Look, the hand, the inside of the brain. Bored. We got bored. Ooh, Angolo. Okay, SMC they're throwing out. So I'm assuming they have access to an Angolo in hand. Otherwise, those cards seem pretty good. But they might be terrified. So I'm assuming here that I want to use our Vapor Frame install, but we also want to do a normal install, a regular install. If they have Angolo in hand, an early Brawn is pretty hard. It's just pure tempo. If we only install one ice, it's pretty good. I think we could afford to maybe score a Vitruvius, but I'm assuming that we're going to Spin Doctor here first. So we'll install Spin Doctor to draw with Spin Doctor. So that's our install of the turn. Just kidding. Vapor Frame Austerity, use Austerity. Oh, wait, that's sick. Oh, that's incredible. But they'll trash it. We have to make sure they don't trash it. So we have to Vapor Frame in every turn. So that's a new remote. And then we'll Nano Etching. And then we'll gain credit. Peak efficiency. This is a board. So next turn, we'll install the Austerity, use the Austerity, Vapor Frame the ice, Nano Etching. Honestly, gaming. A single missed bones will be an issue, but at least we installed that. Yeah, okay. So there's Angolo in hand we were talking about. There's a Dekobi, so hope they don't have to break ice. Oh, these are not unique. We can install 2 cards a turn, and these count as different abilities. Why don't people play this card? It's incredible. And so this actually saves us a credit. So I know you were laughing before. So Magnet's really bad into Angolo because of the text. We're going to try not to install Gatekeeper, and then we Nano Etching. This is kind of fun. This is like a Euro board game. We got all our little actions we got to do. Eventually, we're going to have 2 Vapor Frames, and we're just going to be like building board state, and we're going to want a Calvin Bailey in this board state. You're supposed to trash Vapor Frames at the court, pay 2 credits and 2 clicks to install 2 cards. Yeah, but the runner spent 3 clicks and credits and a click. Like, I'm not going to say it's good, but you're not counting the part of the calculation that is worrying for the runner. Like, that's definitely a swing. Look at them play. They're honestly basically playing. Oh, they threw out a Slap Vandal. That's scary. They're honestly kind of playing the same game we are. A worker placement game? Yeah. Okay, that's an agenda we can have. Okay, so I don't want to install this. We can definitely Austerity. We can definitely Nano Etching. Now we can Vapor Frame. I honestly think putting Holloman in server 5 is kind of fine. They might run this. There's a chance we can get 3,000 credits. This advancements on Vitruvius, which will win the game, right? I think we just install Holloman into a new server. I don't want to put a 3rd ice here. Don't talk about losing on R&D. I don't think it'll happen. Okay, I mean, fine. Vapor Frame is 2nd Vapor Frame. It might have been correct. I just don't know if we're going to have enough cards in hand. Like, our card draw is going to limit our Vapor Frame ability. But that being said, now we can draw every turn and still Vapor Frame. Yeah, we could have used Vapor MM to draw. I think that would have been totally fine. I just don't want to draw because they generally run HQ on this turn. Maybe into Burner we should draw, but we're actually okay into Burner because of Spin Doctor. The worst thing you can do is leave an agenda in hand. You can install Gatekeeper. I want to try and non-install Gatekeeper against Dow because it's a liability and a half into Dow. If this ends up on R&D, they just shuffle R&D all you want. Also, no, fuck. I was going to say no Hermes yet. Yeah, we want to be careful. We don't want to install ice we don't need. Because once Gatekeeper's on R&D, they break it for Angola for 1 credit, 2 credits with Takobi, and then they like force us to shuffle. Like, you have to be a bit careful. Going back, can't steal Ikoa. Trash Rashida. Okay. Shoot for the moon. Oh, sick. I'm assuming this is Hermes Dow. It looks like it. I mean, we just go. Do we Vapor Frame? Of course we Vapor Frame. Of course we Vapor Frame. Wait, this is hella fun. We're still going. They did swap our ice. Recount the amount of swearing. It's not that bad. Is it bad? I don't think it's that bad. How many counters do we need? We are bankrupt. We might just want to get 2 counters and Nano Etching. I think that's kind of fine. Undo what you've done. All of them? I don't think we can afford to. Yeah. We actually can still fast advance the Ikawa next turn if I'm not mistaken. I've done no math, but I'm pretty sure we can red level clearance, vapor frame the Ikawa. You could be getting wage worker value here. Yeah, I know. But like, come on. You can't recommend wage workers in the MirrorMorph deck. It's good. Yeah, this is the blank 6/4. Just with flavor text, which is so fun. The blank 4/4 with flavor text existed in ONR. Elective upgrades would be sick. Yeah. Ooh, overclock. Okay. So we have to decide whether we want to res. If we res the Brawn, he has to break it. Probably will. For 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That drops. And then the magnet, we know that they're on Trojans. Yeah, we're probably not going to res here. HP had some 6ers in the past. Oh yeah, mandatory upgrades. There's mandatory and elective. I think mandatory is the 6/2. Yeah. This is like very much an ONR card. Oscar, how's it going? All right, not a good overclock. If that wasn't an overclock, we would consider resing. Jumon is still legal? Yep. Jumon is still legal. I'm actually going to let them trash the Spin Doctor. We want access to Spin Doctor, let alone these cards in our bin are better for us with 2 Vitruvius counters. Ooh, okay. So they trashed the important card. We can definitely draw once. That is such a good card. Purple Atlas. So we can greasing the bass, but I want to keep the greasing for when we grease the Ikawa. Oh, it doesn't matter. We've opened up play lines that I'm not prepared for because of the vapor frame. So we probably get the bass on the server. So we vapor frame the bass. We nano etching credit. Yeah, Calvin would actually be okay here. I don't think we want to play an operation because we're not struggling. So I think we just install bass with vapor frame. Nano etching credit. I think we just need money. We can install another card. We don't really want to. It's expanding my brain. I feel like I'm learning something. So next turn we can do bass, greasing the Ikawa, advance. Why is there not a vapor frame for advancements? NSG, why did you stop? Oh shit. Oh shit. Is this cursing you're talking about, Axu? It's Holloman? Yeah. It's Pad Factory. So disappointing. It is Pad Factory. 1, 2. No, that's not it. How many advancements can we get? Vapor frame, it doesn't really change anything. Yeah, vapor frame RLC for click. Well, it's gonna happen anyways. Yeah, that's the most advancements, like over advancements. RLC for click and 2. Gain a click for advance, and then we advance 4 times. We could advance for less and get the nano etching there. I mean, this is okay. I'm worried for opponent to put on pressure. I think the Hermes hasn't shown up. They've just been breakers and money so far. There's no way that's what their deck is. Okay, that's just more money. Double to Kobe, we're not resing ice. They're running last click too, so they can't steal Ikawas, which we really appreciate. Holloman's literally an MM acid. Yeah, that's why we're doing. Oh, they threw out a Claude. Oh, because they have a simul chip. Yeah, it was an Ikawa. Uh-oh. That's really funny. Now we can pull MCA and money back. Yeah, I think we do. We have so many tokens, we don't have to be precious about that. So we've Vitruvius. The thing is they're going to run HQ. Luckily, if they steal one of these, there's the Clot. Yeah, we have one virus. We actually probably can get enough clicks to purge in some like some versions of this. So I think we just Vitruvius for MirrorMorph. Sorry, Vitruvius for MCA. We vapor frame MCA. We use MCA. We nano etching. Credit. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the problem is we can't res the Brawn. We just need to keep them busy. Now it's harder to steal the Equa. They only have 2 shots. And luckily if they steal 1, they won't run back for the second. Oh, they're teleworking. Okay, they're just going to play the clock game. So we just need to find our virus. Easier said than done. Hedge fund, a bastion of economic reliability. So we do austerity. We do hedge fund. Then we can draw and vapor frame something. Squad the Equa the old-fashioned way. They'll be able to camp the remote server. But it's likely that we'll pop the austerity, they'll simul-chip trashing one of their cards for the clot, and then we'll still just like push out. So MCA is non-negotiable, hedge fund's non-negotiable. The question is whether we draw or whether we do, we're not going to vapor frame unless we draw. Table Equa, they never check. I think you're right. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. They might check for Holloman because we did Holloman last time. Chat, I'm doing this for you. It's okay if they steal it because they won't run HQ then. Okay. I think we can work with this. So the Equa is safe. I think we just res nothing again. That's how you play around Takobi. Wait, can we actually do this? I think we can. That's so fun. Jai, you're wrong. It checked. I'm pretty sure with 2 Vitruvius counters and 11 credits, we can do it. Yeah, we can do it. I'm pretty sure we can do it. So sorry. Gotta figure out the combo now, though. Okay, so we have to... we don't have restore, so what do we do here? This is still really difficult. So we can grab Bass at a minimum. If we RLC Bass, use Bass. Install Holloman. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Money might be a problem. So I'm just going to start vibing. So I'm pretty sure your RLC, you install the Bass in server 4. I honestly, yeah, this is a bit much. We're going to gain the click. So we can res Bass, use Bass. Double Vitruvius to double Bass. I think that's cheaper. So we played an operation. So then we Bass back for Vapor Frame. I think we have this. Oh my God, this is so beautifully convoluted. This is incredible. Double Bass combo. Then we Vapor Frame for Bass. Server 4. We gain a click. We're short a credit. We're short a credit. Oh, so we should just take we should just nano etching. Yes. It's fine. We'll nano etching. Oh, we can't. No. Something's wrong. Sorry. Do we have the audacity? There must be a way to do this. Swing and a miss. There must be a way to fix this. Greasing instead of install, but we already played an operation. We already played an operation. I just need to redo the agenda. I need to redo the order. So then we should just... Ow, my head. Oh, that's very kind. We need the MirrorMorph to advance. Okay, hold on. Fuck. So we need to play greasing this turn, which means we need to do greasing later on in the turn. So that means we should red level clearance. Hold on. Obviously. Okay. Don't look at this. But we need advance 1 before the Bass. Yes, sort of. Kind of. There's going to be issues with that. So hold on. Vitruvius for the Bass. Red level clearance for the Bass into server 4. We'll gain a click back. The problem is if we advance this, we don't get a free advancement. So we likely need to... Like, what do we do? Like, we have to fire the Bass. And so now we have to spend another click. Like, I think we're cornered. I think we're genuinely kind of cornered here. As soon as we advance the Equa, we can't advance it again. Nano etching for click, I don't think it works. Because then we're still on... Can you vapor frame the bass down? That's what we did last time and it didn't work out. Greasing now? No, it'll eat MirrorMorph if we greasing now. Because we've already played an operation. Is this possible? This seems like it'd be so easy. Advance? Yeah, but if we advance, we can't use the Ikoa. Yeah, maybe advance is fine. I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's fine. Because then what are we doing with the last click? Nano etching? So if we advance, then we nano etching. We're on 3. Thinking. Yeah, this doesn't seem possible. Nano now, then Vitruvius Bass again. If we nano now, we're on 9. We advance, we're on 8. We have 3 clicks. We greasing the Bass. It's not possible. Manually install Bass. We could vapor frame it. It's what we did. Yeah, it seems a bit short. Yeah. I'm trying to grease outside of timing. There's probably a way to do this though. So if we advance the Ikoa, we can get a nano etching. If we nano etching, we could advance the Ikoa. That doesn't change anything. We can't play an operation. We could install a card. Wait, no, that's probably it. Don't we just install a card? No, but we have to greasing. So I think we just start with the greasing, don't we? If we start with the imagining is a competitive event, yeah, but if you play this deck more than like twice, I think this won't be as big of a struggle. So if we start with the greasing, then we can RLC later. That's fine too. Yeah, I think we start greasing. I need to screenshot this and stare at it for an hour. Reheat for real. And I think I need to do this with physical cards. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult thing. So we'll grab the Bass. We'll try the greasing strat. So we'll try the Bass. We'll grease the Bass. Server 4. Okay. So that's operation. No problem. We res the Bass. We fire the Bass. So now, what does this do? This means that we can advance the Ikoa, gain a click. Gain a click. This click has to be something we haven't done. Pick up and install Hollow. Yeah, I think now we can actually do Hollow. The thing is, Hollow and Bass are very similar. MirrorMorph, Vapor Frame, Bass. Yes, probably. Is Bass better than Hollowman? Hollowman is 2 clicks for 2 advancements. Bass is sort of the same. So now we'll Vapor Frame the Bass. No, we're still short. Yeah, no, we're still short. RLC now? No, what does RLC do? This doesn't do anything. What does RLC do? What am I missing? I can't play an operation with the MM click. For money? I don't need money. I need clicks. But I can't play red level clearance because this is the MirrorMorph click, so it can't be an operation. It has to be something I haven't done. This click that I installed the Bass is a very special click because it can't be an operation. Right? Because this is the MirrorMorph click. So it specifically has to be click for a credit, draw a card, nano etching, or vapor frame. You haven't done Bass? No, I can do a Bass, but like that's still 3 clicks and we need to get 4 advancements. There's no way to do it. Right? Like we're short. There's a chance that if instead we did Hollowman, I think we have to red level clearance and draw Audacity. What I'm missing is that playing greasing for Bass is just spending 2 clicks to gain 2 clicks. Yes, but if you do it with a MirrorMorph, it's fine. Banned action for MirrorMorph click is operation, advance. Yes. Operation, advance, and Bass. So we can vapor frame, we can nano etch, and we can draw. I think here we RLC, and if we get an Audacity, we're okay. That's mostly it. We can get this to 4 advancements. Yeah, RLC is not biotic. It doesn't give me a click unless you MMA. Who does this ID? Gray. I mean, I think we're cooked. Holy shit! Not even close. I top deck that. We spent like 10 minutes, like 3 different ways to get to 4 clicks. Oh, that's so funny. Oh wait, that's just that easy. It's just that easy. Take that down, not even rezzing a card. Okay, wait, that's sick. We solved the problem. It was just draw 2 cards clicklessly. Please, if you're watching the VOD, figure out a way to make this work. There has to be a way. I just don't think I'm capable of doing it at the moment. That's so good. Just draw the right cards easy. Hey, thanks for the game. Yeah, unfortunately Tau didn't work. I'm assuming we didn't see a console. Yeah, I was guessing there was a Hermes. I feel like you're also hitting top decks like this in the sports deck the other day. Yes. Yeah. There was, in the sports game, we also had a like last click draw to win the game. Aqueet would rather be lucky than good. Need heuristics for Bassett Assy Holloman. Yeah, I think that's a good way of talking about it. Is that if I had a heuristic to be like, Bass is just +1 click, unless you can do, like, I think that's how I have to do it. To be like, Bass is just +1 click. Unless, like, you need MirrorMorph. And so the idea is that, like, you just have to figure out how many cards are +1 click, or only +1 click in context of MirrorMorph. Thanks for the game, eh? What a weird game. The last 3 or 4 streams' top decking skills have been top notch. It's always been like the one of a nasty as well, too. Yeah, we were not likely to get out of that. Oh, business as usual also would have not worked. No, it wouldn't have worked. I honestly think the BAU should be a subliminal. It's just way more flexible, more board states. And then we have 1 influence. I think we probably should play another Mavirus. Yeah, I think another Mavirus is just really good right now. 1 Mavirus, 1 business, 1 subliminal, cut a card. Bass is really good. Bass turns a click into 5 credits and 2 advances. 5 credits for 2 advances? Yeah, if you advance it. What have we learned? I don't know if I've learned anything yet. I just don't know what to do with 1 influence. That's not a slot. Maybe subliminal isn't that good. Maybe this is fine. RLC Bass is kind of biotic, but it also triggers MirrorMorph. Yes, and triggering MirrorMorph is really good. Your RLC Bass, you fire Bass, you install the agenda, you get a free advancement, and then you still have a bunch of advancements. We learned more Vapor. It is like only really good with nano etching, but maybe that's the right thing. Skunk works. Yeah, but we have 1 influence 49 slots. You likely only get 1 subliminal use and never recurring. I agree, it won't recur because there's no reason for them not to run. But the subliminal is like just as good as RLC. Yeah, Vapor Frame like felt cool. It felt really cool. If our opponent trashed it, I think we'd be in a bad spot. But I don't think anyone wants to trash this thing. Oscar, I hear you out. 14 influence is totally fine. If your deck is not better, it's worse. Like there's a HB fast advance ritual of not playing all your influence. Reverse cancels 1 influence, helps with MirrorMorph triggers. It does, but it also like I'd rather click for a credit than advance. Right? Like if you advance with MirrorMorph, you are losing a credit. If you click for a credit, you're gaining a credit. So unless the thing that you're advancing is worth it for your board state, like we needed to click for every single MirrorMorph credit. And even then it was close. Needs wage workers. Honestly, it might not be wrong. Hey, it's Duckland. Budma. Hey, last time we played against Duckland, she was like charging what's it called? Coalescence off R&D pretty hard. Loved market counts back in the day. It is a cruel card. Really, really cool. Regolith? Yeah, Cat, if we do Regolith, we'd probably end up doing... I was assuming we would do another nano etching over Regolith because it's just faster. Or we would do the one with the thumbs up. I don't know the name of. Cali testing seems decent, given our econ. It's expensive though, isn't it? Hey, let's go. Best of luck, have fun. I do not like our hand. We have an Ikoa. We don't really have any trigger, anything to do. Most of our games we've been opening up with the Rashida. Turns out that's very important standard, like this hand. Reverse accounts is way better than punitive. Yeah, there used to be like really, really annoying. This is how we double install. No, it doesn't work. I think we just do Rashida ablative. You want to double install. This hand is so good. It's just such a good hand. I just don't know how to play it. If we do Vapor Frame, Res Vapor Frame, install nano etching, use nano etching. The double install is really hard. I think we just take a Hoshiko turn off. Imagine trashing Vapor Frame last click, we install Hoshiko. Yeah, I was gonna go for the nano etching. I think the Vapor Frame's fine. If she runs the nano etching and we res it, like she'll probably trash it. If she runs Vapor Frame last click, she can't trash it. It's not allowed. See if she runs R&D. Like she needs a Padma. Yeah, there's a coalescence. So she's gonna be getting 2 credits running R&D all the time. We need to put it just a drafter here, something annoying. Oh, I think we res it. If she trashes this, we can get a Hoshiko on the table. We can get an agenda on the table. Hey, hold on. Do we just get an agenda on the table? What does it take for us to score out this agenda? I think it's hard. If we install the off-world office, on our turn we can do Hoshiko will fire. We can do advance. Yeah, we need a wage workers. I think we're just gonna put the nano etching. Bass could work too, but no, this is fine. That's a really scary trash. Last click. Tap deck Audacity. No, yeah. All right. Gatekeeper and R&D is not a great place to put it. Magna means she can just run it for 2 credits. I don't love that. It stops the axis, which seems important, but that's mostly it. On 6 credits, she's 5 cards in hand. She's drawn a bit. Diesel. So we could do Bass Vitruvius. We definitely want a nano etching every turn. So this is not a great turn for a double install. If we wage workers, why MirrorMorph? Because there's some turns that wage workers you'll just like 4 advance. It has flexibility because not every turn needs to be a MirrorMorph. But you're right, it's counterintuitive. There are board states where you like it, especially after an MCA fires and you're going to do quad advance, if not 5 advance. I think Vitruvius is the best agenda in our deck. I can't believe we forgot about this thing. Shout out to Jai. So we do server 1, nano etching. IA off-rolled. 6 credits, she's going to be able to bust this remote server for sure. And I don't want to res this ablative. I think we just like slow roll the Vitruvius. We do Vitruvius. I think we don't MirrorMorph this turn. We really needed that card that she trashed. That card's really good. I'll do this. There's a reason Cranked has been wanting to ban Vitruvius for a while now. Yeah, card's good. Buy R&D. Nice. She has a lot of good run triggers for R&D. I wonder if she's on Jailbreak, but we saw Baya last time we played. Yeah, I think more Vapor might be right. It's kind of sick. Uh-oh. I think she's going to run HQ now. Oh, she really doesn't want us to have cards. Oh, that wasn't bad fast. That was a good run. Yeah, so she's actually dealing with our stuff. That's fine. Lou makes it better. I'm less scared of Lou than I am of icing HQ. So we just need a drafter or something here. So next turn we'll do probably advance, install, credit. Andre in chat learns the vape. All right, so questions of what we're installing. It could be the Bass. She's interested in trashing the Bass. That's fine. Bass is okay with an RLC. I think we need ice up R&D sooner than later. If we put this down, she might just not face check if she's worried about a drafter. So I think that's worth something. I think we just do this. Finally got decks ready for tomorrow meetups. Got Ice Destruction Hosh, Reg Sable, Asa that's some rando made, and Reg Ag Infusion. How are your locals, Axie? All right. She's face checking. There's a couple of agendas in here. This will give us a lot of cards in her hand. Unfortunately, it'll be a Gatekeeper, but she can't run into Gatekeeper. She can't let that fire over and over again, so this will slow her down. It's me and one other person. That sounds good. But that's like a high percentage of the country you live in, right? There's not a lot of people there. Off-world office? More like, no thank you, office. Versus Padma, it's okay. If she produces a breaker and starts breaking this, it's like totally fine. Eventually we'll over-install it. It's like 13% of the population. It's a joke in Slovenia that's like everybody is 2 people away from knowing everyone. And it's actually like relatively true. Slovenia is like 2.5 million though. Grease Vapor. Vapor Bass. Bass Advanced MirrorMorph click. I was thinking of just like greasing Bass. using Bass. We definitely want to get something on R&D. Oh, she's running R&D for 1 credit. I don't think we mind too much. We also can just like 3 advance that, but that's like kind of boring. So we probably have to do something in the middle. Greasing Vapor Frame, she's probably going to deal with it. She has, and we can use that to her advantage. So we can grease Vapor Frame. Vapor Frame Bass. Res Bass, use Bass. Advance. It's convoluted and expensive because we're +2 down 4. So we're on 5 credits. I mean, it's probably not right. This is so convoluted. There's no way this is right. It's net 0 clicks, but allows us to set something up here. I think we just did advance credit. And this is a bit better. Yeah, we're not going to Bass. Bass would allow us just to do a lot on a single turn. It doesn't help us score out the Vitruvius more efficiently. It just does a lot on a single turn. R&D still has a lot of agendas in it. This might not go great for us. This is the worst case scenario where you don't get ice on R&D and like Padma actually makes sense. But like if we got an ice on R&D and it costs 3 to break, Padma just doesn't make sense. Unfortunately, we don't. We're playing into loot? Yeah, but that's why we put 2 cards on the table. Right, like lose once per turn. That's why we want to put 2. And I don't know if she wants to trash this. This could be anything. There's a fun window too before he access. You can use a Vitruvius counter to add something to hand, and she'd be like, "Oh, actually, no, free Rashida." You have to watch out though. You have to do it before breach. Don't play another creative commission. Thank you. Ooh, that's good. So we can do RLC to draw, gain a click. We can vapor frame whatever we draw into R&D. I'm going to start with this. Oh, that's good. So we don't want to play the greasing here. We can install the Holloman, but it's very expensive. I was hoping for something on R&D. So I think we're going to vapor frame the Spin Doctor. Well, this is not good. It's only be a matter of time before she overclocks server 1. Huh, this is falling apart. Yeah, we might just take credits here. Vapor frame. If we take clicks though, like I just want to get the Vitruvius to a 4-2. So we could just take clicks here and then do advance, and score. That might be fine and just not fire MirrorMorph. If we gain a click here, then we can vapor frame whatever the Holloman. The problem is then we do advance, credit, advance. That's fine too. Yeah, that's fine. That fires our ability. So we get 2 clicks here, we can just do advance. So these 2 clicks are actually worth it. If we get the install, we can do, if we get the click, we can still install. And then we do advance. So we're on 4. If we just get the credits, we can do advance, and we're on 6, but we discard a card. I'd rather be on 6. So we'll just do this. And not MirrorMorph for the first time. Getting rid of the Mavars is also totally fine. Yeah, I don't think we always get a click there, because firing MirrorMorph is actually only going to give us worth a credit, I think, on that turn, and we can get 2 credits instead. It's somewhat even. Simulchip, nice. Coalescence. Oh, Echelon. Okay. So our drafter window closed a bit, but still expensive to run R&D. Like, this is 1 credit. How much does 1 credit cost, Michael? She also can, like, just fire Gatekeeper. Oh, now she'll probably charge Nuka. Oh, no, she needs money. Maybe she didn't drop money. Ooh, no run. Very cool. Oh, okay, cool. So I don't think we want a greasing because we have Holloman in hand. So we probably do austerity, use austerity, and then we can vapor frame the Spin Doctor. If that's the case, we might as well start with the vapor frame the Spin Doctor. Okay. She has good money. Her deck is just like breakers and money. We'll res this. Okay, we drew an Ikoa. We need that to win. I'm okay with her trashing this. She trashes this for 1 credit and draws a card. Otherwise, we actually just want all these cards as one-ofs in our bin and our Spin Doctor because of Vitruvius. So I'm okay with her trashing this, I think. We definitely need to top deck one of our 2 hedge funds here. I wonder if hedge fund's better than greasing on this like weird board state we have. Because of the vapor frame. Oh, she has no clicks left, so the 2 Ikoas and R&D are safe. Okay, we have too many cards. That's okay, we can double install, no problem. So we can still no ice early for R&D, that sucks. So we can austerity for sure. We can vapor frame a nice on here for free. I think we'll vapor frame the Holloman. It just looks like a defensive upgrade. We probably should plan to return slightly more. And then we can do 2 credits, which we're probably going to need the 2 credits. And then throw out the Mavirus. I think that's fine. Now, vapor frame does install ignoring all costs, which is like super flexible. But with this, we can fast advance the 5-3. We'll see if she does produce Clot. She has no SMCs in the bin, but she has Simul Chip. So we'll see how it gets used. Oh, there she has SMC. I don't think she's on Clot. She's on DZ though. No console yet. Also kind of fun. Looks like she would be, oh, cool. So she's going to pin them all, I'm assuming for the Holloman. Imagine you go for the vapor frame here. Cool. So we can still fast advance, but she might have Clot. If she has Clot, that's okay, because we can always like save the agenda with, what's it called? Pinholing on the 1 right ice server? Yeah, it's because she makes money with Coalescence, right? Like she actually makes a credit running R&D. If you think it's silly, it's because Pudma charges the Coalescence. It makes sense. Pardon me, do you only play Standard? Or today, the day of it? Holy, how's it going? Yes, we mostly play Standard. We've played a fair bit of Gateway on the channel recently because of the Gateway series we did at the end of last year. I don't play a lot of Startup, but specifically it's in a weird spot right now because there's going to be a big rotation in the near future. And in the near future, when Standard and Startup changes, we'll jump back into Startup as well. I wonder what format you play. I guess I'm going to Vapor Frame here. We'll gain the click to do advance. We actually might have wanted to get the credit. We can always get credit. I'm going to ask for action on this click because in theory we could Audacity here. I'm not sure if she's on Clot. There's a chance that Vitruvius is actually better for us. I forgot that we had that in hand. She's been running R&D every turn, so I don't have a huge incentive to Ice HQ. Gets a bit awkward for Vitruvius if there's like a burner. Pushing the Vitruvius is also kind of reasonable. Blade of Barrier is also now online, which is really, really good. Because running this is harder, and eventually we'll get a Blade of an R&D. No Barrier Breaker. And using the Simul Chip for the Coalescence. So I'm assuming she has access to something from hand. Do we win off Audacity top deck next turn? Yes, I think so. But it's a 1 in 26, Jai. We're not that good. Wait till a 1 in 24. So I do think she simul-chipped on our turn so that she gets to use the Coalescence. Okay, all the breakers are there. That's not surprising. Thanks for the answer. Starting to introduce Netrunner into my play group, and Startup is a lot less to print per person. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, holy. The thing is, like, Startup system update is rotating in about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. So it's like a hard product for me to recommend. If you have Startup, I think you're going to have a fantastic time. That's for sure. But it's just a bit tricky. So this ablative is good. She has a click left. Now we can use this ablative to install a card into a different server. So Spin Doctor is an okay option for sure. Austerity is an option she has to trash. But if she traps the Holloman, she'll be on 3 credits. So then she can trash the Austerity. Oh, she'll be on 4 credits because of Lu. So that's an option. Bass is probably the other option, which she actually can't afford to trash. And we can do something with the Bass next turn. Oh, she has to break this too, actually. No. So she couldn't trash the MCA. I just don't want an uniced MCA. Oh, she can always panic Coalescent. And start another Hollow? Another Holloman? Oh, that's fine too. Actually, yeah, another Holloman's maybe a bit better. It's similar to Bass. I can't tell if it's better than Bass or not. It's very similar to Bass. It's easier to print decks rather than the full products. Yeah, for sure. So she knows she can't trash this unless she uses the coalescence. Okay, so she can't steal Ick while running last click. Fuck. On game point. Okay. We have options here. Can we score at an Ikoa? So first click we can Bass. Second click we can get the Ikoa on the table. Yeah, how do we do it? I'm trying to think it through. We can score Ikoa easy. I don't know if it's easy. She's not threatening Claude anymore, but I don't think she's on it. So what do we need to score out an Ikoa? We already have a 4-click turn, and so we just need to get a 5-click turn using MCA. That shouldn't be that hard. So one of the lines involves us vapor framing a Holloman. If we vapor frame a Holloman, res the Holloman, install the Ikoa. So that's 6, 7. Bass is 8, 9. We'll have a money issue. I don't think it's that easy. Oh, wait, we can greasing. Yeah, money's close. So if we greasing an Ikoa, we'll be on 11. Then we can vapor frame the Holloman from our archives of Vitruvius. We'll res a Holloman. We're at 9. We'll use the Holloman. We're at 8, 7, 9. We're at 5. It will have 2 advancements. We're 1 credit short. I think we're 1 credit short. MirrorMorph is super tricky. Now this is a problem because it betrays the fact that we have an agenda in hand. I think we're 1 credit short if my math is right. So my line is that we vapor frame the Holloman, we greasing the Ikoa, and that will put us up on some points, right? That will put us up on, this goes to 11. We res and use the Holloman, that takes us to 5. And at that point, we get a click back. We're on 5 and have a click back. We're going to need to fire the Bass, which is 3. So that puts us on 2. And then we have to advance 3 times. So I think we're 1 credit short. Now we can just like score out the Vitruvius. That's probably fine. We can do Bass, vapor frame the Vitruvius, advance, gain a credit, advance. We could use a Vitruvius counter to get a Vitruvius counter. That would also be fine. So we can greasing the Vitruvius. We can greasing the Vitruvius, Bass, fire Bass. He's dedicated. Too dedicated even. Keeps putting hats on shit. Vitruvius the MirrorMorph. Oh, I'm just saying words. We're greasing the Vitruvius, use Bass advance. That's the problem, is that you don't want advance to be one of your clicks. You want to get a free advancement, which makes it really tricky with this hand. It's very tricky with this hand. Very tricky with this hand. All our ace gets broken for 1 credit. That's like just the shaper issue. Just building towards this board state is unfortunate. I think we just scored the Vitruvius with Bass. It cost us 4? No, 5. Because we could do Vapor Frame for Vitruvius, Bass. Just trying to figure out how many counters. That'll be like our cover story. So we go down to 6. We install the Vitruvius. We advance it. We gain a credit. We do advance. Yeah, that's probably fine. Pop the Bass and op for Holloman. Oh, that'd be sick, actually. Vitruvius the RCL to draw Audacity? Honestly, yeah, maybe. But there's no way we can do that twice. I think we'll just go for a small one. So if we can play an operation here, we get it back. So if we red level clearance clicklessly to gain a credit, we'll get a Vitruvius counter. Hold on. So if we just do triple advance, we'll gain a credit. So we'll end our turn on 6, we'll go 7, we'll go end on 4. The other option to not end on 4 is if we use our Vitruvius counter to get a red level clearance, we play red level clearance clicklessly, and then we gain a credit. So then we're on 7, and then we get a free advance. I think we will do this. I think this is neutral, but it's flashy. So we'll gain a click and 2 credits. Then we can get an advancement. or a credit. Yeah, this technically gives you... Oh, that's not right. Oops. This is a kickflip for no reason. I was meant to advance it. So we'll do click, gain 2, then we'll place an advancement. No, No, we lost money on this. Yeah, this was worse. This actually lost us a credit. We actually used MirrorMorph for a detriment. We figured out how to use MirrorMorph to lose credits unless I did it wrong. Why not grease? Because greasing is really good with Holloman. Greasing Holloman is sick because it means that you can grease Holloman, vapor frame an agenda, and then use Holloman and still get a click left. It's really, really important. Plus 2 points though and keep the counter? Well, no, but we could have just got plus 2 points without using the counter. We could have just used Bass, install triple advance, gain a credit. It would be better. We'd be on 4 credits. So we literally did nothing besides lost a credit. Yeah, we just lost a credit. I wonder at what point she's going to run HQ. Maybe with a burner, but like she's seen every top deck largely. So I feel like she's disincentivized from running HQ. Oh, fuck. Hold on. If Vapor Frame fires, we can install the Ikawa. We can top deck an Audacity and win. Wake. Okay, I'm glad we got that hand. I mean, the only matters if you need to install 3 things. Otherwise, grease and regular install is the same. But you always need to install the agenda and the Holloman. So you wanted the operation, right? This is ugly. I think I have to leave. Have a great rest of your day. Clockwork, thank you. Thanks for dropping by. Thinking, oh, Nanako the cat wants to leave. Sorry, Nana. The door's not yet? She woke up from her important business nap and remembered food exists. It's a good thing. Don't hurt your brain too much. No, this is fun. We're expanding. I feel like I'm learning. The problem is like we're getting worse at learning the longer it goes. So here we can play advance operation credit. Cute cat, like the cutest. We'll draw once. We'll click for a credit. We'll click for... We probably want a greasing here, actually. Hey, Justin. Don't think you can score the Ika? No, we can't score the Ikawa. We're going to need a top deck. I don't honestly know what we need a top deck. There's a chance here that we just like use the Vitruvius to greasing for a spin doctor. That might be correct. Ablative? Yeah, Ablative is also really good here. We could Ablative HQ. I just don't know whether she's going to sniff out the fact that we put a 5-3. Like we put something in the remote server into Reza. Maybe it looks like a Managarm that's cooking. Maybe she respects what's it called? Holloman. If she runs into the Ablative at the wrong time, like this is a nice response to Wake and Plant. So if she runs this last click, we can do something with Holloman. Nice. Big decisions here. We're on 5 credits. We can install something from our bin. Obviously, the power card is Vapor Frame. Just draw Restore. Oh, we don't have the money for it. So we could put Bass on the table. Bass doesn't do it. Hollow, yeah, but if we put Hollow in server 1 and she runs server 1, like we're cooked. Like she's maybe going to break this, probably going to break this for 4. Then she gets into HQ. Then she runs this server, it's 3. And then she has 2-1. It's not Hollow. No, no, no. There's no way. It can't be Hollow because where are we going to put it? Where do we put it? Put it somewhere else? Yeah, but she has 2 clicks. She's just going to trash it. She trashes it for a credit and draws a card. We have to do something more substantial than Hollow. Like I think we have to do Bass. And then she has to trash Bass. If we put Hollow, she runs Hollow and we lose. Right? Like if we put it here, she loses. She wants to run R&D this turn. If we put it here, she runs it. She breaks the Ablative. She trashes the Hollow and should have Ikawa credits. Right? If we didn't have an Ikawa, I would probably do the Hollow. But this is much more substantial for her to trash. This is actually 3 credits. And she needs to have 4 credits up front. Like you shouldn't put the thing that she needs to trash on top of the thing that wins her the game. This kind of does unfortunately tell her that this might be an asset, which is like maybe not good for us. Because if this was an upgrade, we would have put the Bass on top of it. Gets to C2 here. Oh, that's not good. And now she trashes, goes down to 1 credit, which is what we want. Ooh, hedge fund. That's super important. I honestly don't know how we score this out though. Draw. Hedge fund. The most taxing thing we can put on R&D is a drafter. Gaining credit. What do we have to top deck to get out of here? Hedge advance? Honestly, maybe that was a window to advance. You might be right, that's a window to advance. How many advancements can we get with a Vitruvius counter? 3. Vitruvius counter doesn't help unless we find the audacity. And now she's going to lock the top of R&D every turn. Yeah, we probably should have advanced. I'm going to wait for her to overextend on R&D maybe. She's played all her simul chips, so she doesn't have a 4 credit button. She's played 2 sure gambles. She played 2 creatives. Seamless would be good. We don't have seamless. Someone suggested turning a hollow into Kali testing. That might be good with Vapor Frame. I don't know. Is it? Okay, so she can't break this unless she pops her Coalescence. Also, if she does break this, she can't steal Ikuas, and she's going to see 2 from the top of the deck. So here she has to decide to use her Coalescence. Okay. Fireball. Okay, how many advances can we get on this? If we had a Vitruvius counter, we can do advance, Vitruvius. That's not good. I think we just put a Gatekeeper on here. We do Hedge Fund, Gatekeeper, Advance, Credit. And hope that she doesn't have Overclock. That's the best we can do, is hope she doesn't have Overclock. This would be a better play last turn, I think. She technically is on 4 credits. She has to run right now. She technically has 6 credits, which is maybe, oh, I think we're good, unless R&D doesn't hold. And she can see 3 cards, so we just have to hope R&D holds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, is there only one more agenda in R&D? No, there's 2 agendas in R&D. I think we're in a good spot. She can also just shuffle with Gatekeeper, though, if she doesn't know that trick. How are we scoring next turn? We're going to top deck on Audacity. Don't worry about it. I didn't consider it. It's okay. I know, honestly, I don't know. She used her Coalescence, so it looks like this is going to be the last play. She thinks she loses here. Oh. We don't have an access to Restore. With Restore, we can probably do it. We need to top deck something that gets us out of here. So we need to just res the Magnet. So she breaks the Magnet, and then she breaks the Ablative and Axes. If we res the Gatekeeper, we need the Gatekeeper later. Because this is 1 credit. This is 1 credit and leaves around 2. Yeah, we have to res the Magnet here. Gatekeeper draws you cards. Yeah, but if we can't get it, I'd rather have the Gatekeeper for next turn. It also breaks lock, which is not good for us. She should bounce off of this. Oh, good. She thinks it's a 4-2. So she's going to spend credits on this. We need her to do that. No clicks, though? Oh, yeah, shit on me. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm rather her spend her 2 credits. This throws? Sort of. Not entirely. Because she thinks that's a 4-2. So she's going to run it. And we need to spend her money. Because I don't know how she gets back in here. No need to res. It makes her spend credits. I know she can steal it, but we need her to spend credits because she needs to come back in next turn. So I think we just do MirrorMorph for Hedge Fund. Hedge Fund, Advance, Credit, Credit. And we hold for 1 more turn. We know the top 2 of R&D are safe. I think this is the safest play. And this is why we don't res the Gatekeeper, because she breaks Gatekeeper for 4. So now she needs to get through these for 2, Gatekeeper for 4, and have a click and 2, and we know the top of R&D are safe. She has no more Coalescence. Like, I think that was probably well played. Unless you want to hope the top of R&D wins the game. Which case you probably shouldn't res. Oh, that's not good. We're safe, though. I think she knows the next 2 on R&D. Unless click 1 creative. Click 1 creative is still really hard. Because she still has to break all this and have a click and credit for Aqua. Now we're going to draw 0 cards with the Gatekeeper, but forces us to shuffle, though. But we know the cards on top of R&D are not an agenda. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I snap res this. Is that correct? She's technically on 4 credits, so as long as she keeps the Coalescence, she can do break, break. So she should bounce off of this, and we're going to draw 0 cards. Fire all? Yeah. We're going to draw none. It still shuffles the deck, so she has a chance to win. But for what it's worth, there's only Ikwas left in the deck. Oh, and one off-world office. So we'll draw 0 because we know the top of the deck. We still have to shuffle, though. So she can go back in R&D and see at least one new card. Yeah, fire all. I missed it. I was holding. Totally forgot. Yeah, so now the top of R&D is unknown, but it's only one off-world office and 16 that she can steal. Credit. Nice. Good game. Nice. We navigated an end game. Scored to 9. Hey, good game. Thanks for the game. Yeah, Padma got so much value that game. Could not figure out how to make R&D any more taxing for Padma. Not carrying MirrorMorph on the last turn? Yeah, unfortunately. I don't think there's a way we could have done it. If we had a Vitruvius counter, we would have for style. But I'm not even sure we can get there. Yeah, just getting this Breaker Suite down means running is cheap. It's just kind of what Shaper does. It's up to you to do something to make this slow. And we kind of did. Like, we scored at points. I think we messed up the Vitruvius turn pretty bad 2 turns ago. We could have had another credit, and that doesn't matter. The Vitruvius counters have been just cracked. There's also a chance that scoring the off-world, we should have gone for a Vitruvius for counters, but we had a money issue. I actually really like the hedge funds, because the hedge funds give you enough money to do a Hollow Man play. We probably should be on 3. Maybe 1 fewer Greasing. Greasing seems like it's underperforming. Vapor Frame is overperforming. Isn't that cool? Vapor Frame is like the coolest card in the deck. Yeah, for sure. Hey, that last turn? I don't know if you saw the line. You can run back on R&D. Gatekeeper always forces the shuffle. You can force me to show you new cards, even if I don't draw. Yeah, she also could have done that before. She could have brute forced R&D. It was expensive, but she can just like run this C2, shuffle Waken Plant, run back C2. I don't know if that's better or worse for her. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the game, eh? Always a pleasure. This makes me want to build Vapor Frame Asa. There's no way that's worth doing in an Asa, I would imagine. I think in MirrorMorph it's excusable because you want to have that action. I don't know what you'd get in Asa. Get the Sig Asa triggers if they trash it. Oh, that's actually, yeah, maybe that is something. Is that Asa triggers if they trash it? I just don't think they have a reason to trash it. Like, you don't actually gain a benefit from this. Because like if you don't have click compression off of MirrorMorph, this is just like install ice, save a credit on some Asa states. It's probably not worth it. I think you need MirrorMorph for that to be good. I don't know how you convince someone to trash it. Maybe that means you get fully up. I don't know. I think I have in for maybe 1 more. Corp. Let's go. Step 1 is to get the threat force to get Vovo for free. Oh, hold on. Let's make some changes to the deck real quick. So we'll do edit. We'll play 1 more hedge fund because that is like our best operation on the first couple turns. We'll play -1 greasing. That seems right. And I honestly think we should play 1 more bass or 1 more vapor frame. I just can't figure it out. The bass has been like very interesting. As much as it looks better than it does on a lot of board states. Hey, Joe. Hand is good. You have a mix of everything you want. You have an early nano etching. We'll see if Joe respects it. We have drafter for R&D. This hand's fine. Subliminal for panic. I think Subliminal is another card that we'd actually value because it just is so easy with MirrorMorph to get a free credit and a free click. Joe went for the Malaka. All right, that makes the hand a bit more interesting. I don't expect Padma to run HQ on the early game. It's never too late to slot snares. We can slot half a snare. It's the best we have. So unfortunately here, installing 2 cards means that we probably want MirrorMorph. Unless we Subliminal this turn, which I don't think we want to. Hey, one day Padma will be fantastic. My words. Lady, how's it going? Good game. I think it's tricky. I think for Padma to be really good, it's very, very hard. You just need a reason to run R&D every turn. And it's hard to find board states where running R&D every turn makes sense. It's very hard, but I think she can only get better. Subliminal turn was okay if you ice R&D. I don't know. Not with this off-rolled in hand, maybe? So we do Subliminal Nano Etching, use Nano Etching. Gain a click is useless. It's not a very good click this turn, though, because we can't even like install a card. Unless we do... Oh, Joe left. So. I think we just do Nano Etching, use Nano Etching, ice R&D, and not care. It's not great. We need the Spin Doctor to survive. Just use the RLC. Yeah, honestly, actually, RLC might have been good because we could have used 2 more cards there. I think you're right. RLC might have been better. There's 2 bad hits here. That's one of them. Yeah, I actually like RLC a fair bit on click 1. I'm really bad at using RLC for tempo, but it is just tempo. I want to keep it for a combo turn, and that's not correct, especially on turn 1. Yeah, RLC would have been good. RLC, install Nano Etching, draw 2. Use Nano Etching, install Drafter, click for credit. It's a much better turn. That's a really bad hit. Sick. Last click into a Drafter. Well, shit, it doesn't do nothing. Gets a Spin Doctor on the table. As much as Trickshot Ban hurt all shapers, it destroyed Padma because getting Padma value and running remote was huge. Yes, yeah. RLC in the bin's also perfect because you install Drafter. Yeah, bye. I totally agree. It was definitely not the play. Can't steal, can't trash. The axis doesn't change much. I'm not going to res this. Like, can't steal it. 6 points of the deck? Can only trash, like, exactly Rashida. Gets information, though, but gets information on the res. All right, I'm going to RLC. Draw 2. Okay, so we're probably going to install Gatekeeper, install Rashida, and Nano Etching. Yeah, our turn 1 could have been so much better. Feels bad when you mess up a game that quickly and it snowballs. Or it feels like it snowballs. Do you res though? I don't think we res here. Now we'll res for sure. We value the Spin Doctor because Time Bomb. And Time Bomb will just fire a bit faster. In fact, they can fire this turn. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe we should have got a Spin Doctor on the table. Oh no, it's turn begins trigger. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's fine. This is a lot of influence. I wonder if that means it'll be Chastushka, another disruption. Was MirrorMorph draw better there? It might have been, but I'm assuming with Rashida and Spin Doctor, we have enough card draw. Can't steal Iqua still. Oh, that's really bad. 3 axes, 4 points. Feels bad. I wonder if solo running Enga in here too? I want to play Enga. It seems like a really fun card. That's really, really bad. It's going to be hard to come back from that. The axis on HQ was like a 25% generally on turn 1. The axis on R&D there was not. It was like 7 and 40. Ooh, Gatekeeper into a Time Bomb. I think we have to do this. So now we're going to have way too many cards in hand. That's fine. I'm going to keep it Vitruvius in hand because we kind of have to have an agenda in hand to win. And we have RLC, Hedge Fund, Subliminal. We'll have ways to install a lot of cards. We're going to have to eat the Time Bomb. We actually could have kept the Rashida, but okay. So we are going to lose 3 cards. We have a Spin Doctor to the table, so we don't really care. We probably, okay, this gets really tricky. I don't know if Joe's going to have Explosive Money next turn. Hasn't drawn a lot though, but on 5 credits. So we probably want to get the Vitruvius as fast as possible because it's a Time Bomb deck. So that means if we install the Vitruvius, RLC another ice in front of it, like an ablative, that's probably fine. Then we can Nano Etching. So we can get 4 cards out of hand, no problem. So Vitruvius we have to hard install. There's no way around that. We can't get this out of our hand any other way. This is where if this was a greasing, we'd be better. We only made that swap right now. So we can install Vitruvius. We can Hedge Fund. We can Nano Etching. So then we probably Subliminal this turn. Subliminal is really good into Time Bomb though. Okay, I don't know what we're doing. I will install that. So now we should play an operation. So Subliminal is the most flexible. Okay. Oh no, that's bad. Because the only other way to install a card is an operation. So we're level clearance. We'll install a non-agenda card, server 2. And then we probably gain a click. Then we Nano Etching. And now we can click for a credit and then we can play Hedge Fund. I think that's the best case. Here we probably just throw out the Subliminal. Because every other card's really good. I reckon to get the Hollow-Man down, we couldn't at the cost of the Hedge Fund. I think having the Hedge Fund is like kind of important for the Hollow-Man. You might be right. I think the Subliminal is the worst card in our hand. Oh no, we have... Nano Etching is really good with Subliminal. It's just all these other cards are so much more important. Well, we'll try that. And now we're just going to rip from the top of the deck. I agree with Ba. I just don't know if we don't play the Hedge Fund. Maybe we can get it down that turn and keep the Hedge Fund in hand. Because maybe you run HQ here. We lost the Audacity. That's good to know because the Vitruvius will get it back. Yeah, I think we need money, but I think we could hit Holloman and then Hedge Fund next turn. Because I don't think we can afford the Holloman without the Hedge Fund. I don't know how we're going to use the Austerity. We might just put it on the table to keep Padma busy. And this is the board state we were looking for in the last game, where you just put a drafter on R&D and like Padma needs like 7 cards installed for this to do anything. I'm not going to res the Spin Doctor. Actually, no, we probably should. And I'm okay if Joe trashes it. Oh, sick. We got Vapor Frame. This is like such a fun bluff too, because if there's face down agendas and archives, like Joe really wants to trash the Spin Doctor. I'm screenshotting this for personal use. How is it we played versus a Sabotage deck, a Padma deck, and a Padma Sabotage deck? It all just blends together. I remember when this set came out, people were like, I'm going to time bomb with Padma. And to me, it's like, it's the power of time bomb is if you can time it. So if I expected that turn to get a Spin Doctor down and then suddenly, but I think Stone Chip just does that better. So here's a 1 and 7. Okay. Might honestly trash that before it has text. Yes, it stays. Love it. Joe needs to draw here. So now we can get the double install, one of them being the Vapor Frame. And then we can probably slow roll the Vitruvius. 1 and 7. Spin Doctor. Not a great trash with this Spin Doctor. Okay. So didn't do much on that turn. Okay, we're fine with that. Wow. Whoa. We got a tempo turn here. So Red Level Clearance can get the Vapor Frame down. Vapor Frame can install the Holloman. I think Joe is like kind of far behind. I'd actually be okay with just doing busy Austerity. So we could do Vapor Frame from Austerity, Austerity Nano Etching. We'd need advance. So I think we will Red Level Clearance of Vapor Frame. So we'll install the Vapor Frame into a new remote server. We'll gain a click. The click could be worth 2 credits. This is just more fun. We'll res Vapor Frame. We'll install the Austerity, new remote, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. We'll res the Austerity. We'll force a click out. We'll gain a click, which will be nano etching, and then we'll advance the Vitruvius. Oh shit, this is fun. This is like really cool. Vapor Frame gaming is kind of sick. Don't forget to install the H-Man. I'm not gonna. We can't afford it. I'm just gonna advance the Vitruvius next turn, I think. We just can't afford to pay 6 for 2 advancements next turn. It's way too expensive. Why not the Holloman? Because I don't want to pay 6 for 2 advancements. It's way too much money. Like, that's so much money. Like, we can score the Vitruvius for 3, we can score the Vitruvius for 6. Now, I'm really thinking that Kali testing is better here. I could see it. It's not a click ability. It's 6 for 3 advancements. Yeah. So it's still more expensive than 3 advancing. I keep telling people Netrunner is a Euro game, a competitive card game, and I'm proven right. Some decks more than others. So I think we do Vapor Frame. We'll ice up. HQ is fine. Nano Etching advance. Then we can install the Holloman for Ba. Only for Ba. This is for Ba. Okay. Now we can afford to do it. Turns all the spare installs we have on combo trains into advancements. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. It's appreciated. I'll be very clear. I'm doing this in good humor. I think it's actually fine right now. I think you're right. The fact that it saves clicks is something I don't often consider in the cost of Holloman. Is that it is 3 advancements for 1 click. Hermes. That's fine. Holloman beats Hermes. Ooh, Subliminal. All right. Check this out. That is the biggest Vitruvius we got so far. We still have functionally 2 clicks left. That seems like it's good, but Vapor Frame fix it. So here, Vapor Frame fix it is my sentence. I think we Subliminal, and then we can Vapor Frame Nano Etching. We got to do literally everything. Oh my God, this is cool. Oh, I want to push the agenda. I think we take it a bit slow. We're pretty far behind. But this is clickless, which is sick. So next turn we can vapor frame the Ikua, or sorry, the Architect. We can Holloman the Architect. We'll need an operation. We can get one of the Vitruvius. We have a lot of counters. Subliminal is just like so free with 3 Vitruvius. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, yeah, vapor frame ignores install costs, which is probably part of the reason why it's expensive. I wonder if we should just score the Ikua so that it's not in play anymore. What's the best top deck? No. Yes. So we can Subliminal, vapor frame the Ikua, Holloman, advance. So we can actually fast advance the Architect deployment test. It's expensive though. So if we do Subliminal, we're on 3 clicks. We're on 6. We Architect deployment test. We would not vapor frame. We just install. So we're at 2 clicks. We Holloman. We're at 2 credits. It has 2 advancements on it. We'd have to do advance now. So we just put that in there and vibe, I think. So we have vapor frame. We have nano etching. I think we can install the Rashida and the Ikua. I think I'd actually rather score the Ikua on the remote server. So we'll do Ikua. New server, nano etching, gain a credit. And so next turn we'll be able to score the Ikua with clicks left because of Subliminal. And we probably should be able to repair the damage. Manual install the Rashida. We already manual installed 1. I wanted to keep the vapor frame for later in case we decide to score out. We can like vapor frame back the ice. But we do 1 install, 1 vapor frame. The order shouldn't matter. Soulmare's about, why do you have hand size? So if we do Rashida, we have a lot of cards. Maybe too many cards. Because here we can do Holloman, Subliminal, nano etching free advance, repair. I think that's probably fine. Ooh, greasing. So I think we do Holloman, Subliminal, nano etching, gain an advancement. Oh no, we actually get opened up. Why did I mess that up? Do we rip the Audacity here? No, there's no way. So we shouldn't have nano etching. We should have. We played a Subliminal. We Ikua'd. We advanced. Yeah, I want to get a click here. We can't get a click here. Why was this not intuitive? I feel like Restore is better than the amount we're playing it. Whatever, we'll score. Hermes. So now we're threatening to win. So you just have to like send it HQ. I imagine this drafter will get bounced. Oh, we could res this Rashida. We don't have to. Yeah, we should almost always be able to fast advance from hand on the basis that we have 3 Vitruvius counters and like Audacities and Rashida. That is not what I was expecting. I was expecting Joe to go HQ here. That ice on server 2, maybe this makes him able to take down the Holloman. But it should be really easy to fast advance a 4-2, he says. As long as the Rashida sticks. Hyperbaric, super cool. Into the depths. Okay, so the Holloman's going down. That makes sense. I think without the Holloman, it might be harder for us. Let's see if you install something here. Maybe a way to get to the drafter. You don't need the money. We went for the money. So maybe Joe has the way to break the drafter on R&D. You nearly have enough Vitruvius counters for a double Audacity turn? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We almost can do it. I don't care about the Spin Doctor going. I'm pretty sure there must be a Chistushka or something. So we'll fire the Rashida. Okay, that should be trivial. Install Vitruvius. Sorry, Vapor Frame Vitruvius. But yeah, we just Audacity. We don't have to do anything. Install 1 card Vitruvius, server Tuvius. We will advance Vitruvius, Audacity, gain a credit, score. Good game. I think we can double Audacity if you fetch RLC. Oh, yeah. If we do RLC in the middle, we probably can. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that flew a bit. Look at the game. What's the rest of your influence? The thing is, like, I'm so interested about these games because the games we're playing today, I have no doubt that there's better lines that we're missing, and that's because we're not familiar with the deck, which is like not, like, I hope that's obvious. It's like this deck probably has a really high ceiling, much higher, that I'm not setting things up for proactive plans. I'm generally responding. Where like you can tell on turn one where I don't RLC for tempo, which was 100% correct, that like I need to be setting up board states that I can capitalize on the future. I'm a bit passive. Gotta point out one of my favorite things to FA with a MirrorMorph. Ooh, what would that be? Which is you can screw the clot as click happens in the same window. Oh, if you get down like a Vitruvius? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, Bob, that has come up before in games. Yeah, okay, so check this out. Say that our opponent is playing around clot, right? So the idea is that if we use the MirrorMorph, so say that we have the agenda on the table, and then, well, I don't know, we Audacity on click 3. So that puts 2 counters on it. That technically means the MirrorMorph happens immediately before we pass priority to the runner, and then we can advance it for our last click, and then we can immediately score it. So you can go from a single advancement to Audacity to MirrorMorph and actually beat out clot. Yeah, there's no window to clot. Yeah, that is something that came up when we played against or played as a MirrorMorph a while ago that I don't think I realized. But you actually can make really hard clot windows because as long as MirrorMorph initiates and if MirrorMorph puts the final advancement on it, you generally get like 3 advancements at instant speed with Audacity. It's really, really cool. So in theory, we could have done it there if we wanted to, where we would like click for credit, install the 3/2, ask for action. They say no clot on a no advancement card. And then we Audacity MirrorMorph for the final advancement. It's really, really cool. Why morph speed is not its morphin time? I think it doesn't focus on the speed part. Neither. How's it going, by the way? Thanks so much for supporting the channel. I actually didn't watch much Power Rangers growing up. I didn't have cable. Same with Holloman Audacity for 4/2s. Yeah. It's a very, very cool line bot. And I don't think it's something we've been building around. There's one game that clock came up. 3 time bomb, a Hermes, and a Kurapira. Oh, super cool. Kurapira is like another card, and I think that's a big problem with Pudma is that charge is only a card with no counters. I would love the idea of putting down a Kurapira, running R&D, and making my Kurapira bigger, but unfortunately you have to install your Kurapira, find the barrier, break that with the Kurapira, and then run R&D, and it's just so difficult. Charge is just like so clumsy. Yeah, it went pretty fast. Good game, by the way, Joe. Coolest. 9 turns, yeah. That's what you expect. All right. Oh, Canister's grinding. Everyone's getting ready for the CBI. It's this weekend. I'm so excited. Again, we will be streaming it. Streaming the NA stuff on Saturday and watching a bunch of the other stuff. So tune in for that again. It's Null Signal Netrunner on Twitch. And then on YouTube, it should be double cast, which is fantastic. So check that out for sure. Oh, hey, that's me. Other stuff, again, I said this at the beginning of the stream. You might notice there's a different background here. You have to be a bit patient with me because I'm spending a lot of time behind the scenes. I got a new camera up there, which shout out to Maddie as a gift for an anniversary, helping me get the money together to buy a nice camera. So we're gonna be setting up some other stuff, whether it's in-person paper play to play some Netrunner in this studio. It'll take me a bit to get that set up. There's a lot of things we're missing, lights and audio and stuff like that. That is expensive, but that stuff has to come together. And or other paper play on the channel and or other channels. So that stuff will be coming up. It just takes a bit of time to spin all this stuff up for obvious reasons. So thanks for your patience with that, for sure. On that note, this sort of stuff only happens because of folks like this. Like being able to invest more into the channel to put out better content, more content is only possible with names like these. And of course, all our daily cast patrons. Hanging out on Tuesdays has been an absolute treat. I think there's a chance we'll be streaming more in the near future, whether it's again, paper stuff and I don't know, doing stuff again on table or just doing more Netrunner stream. It's something I'm definitely considering. If you have any feedback, hit me up on YouTube in the comments or just hit me up what you would like to be seeing on the channel for sure. If you're interested in supporting the Métropole Grid, you can find links below. We're on Patreon. Again, we have a whole bunch of tiers. We have the Daily Cast tier 2, which the name's unfortunately not portrayed here, but these are our Sure Gamble and our Degree Mill tiers. And any amount of support really, really does help the channel. Based Patreon supporters. Thanks, Jai. Again, that's mostly it. This weekend we'll be very busy. We'll be doing casting. Again, not on this channel. That'll be somewhere else on Null Signal. So do give a little subscribe or follow to their YouTube or to Twitch, wherever you care. And I want to give the best of luck to all the folks who are coming out there playing their hearts out at the CBI. It looks like it's going to be a very competitive tournament, and it's a massive international tournament on the stage of Worlds, which is sick. A bit of an open meta. We know it's good. We've seen some other tournaments, and how people are going to respond to that is going to be very, very interesting. That's mostly it. We'll be back on Thursday and then on Saturday. And then from there, who knows? Thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying some MirrorMorph, and we'll be back in a bit. Have a good evening. Thank you so much, PMK. Thanks so much for hanging out. If you want to take a second to leave a like on the video on YouTube, that also helps a lot. Ciao.